We got Peter Weller last season, and now we got Dick Jones? Yes!
Isn't he Grandpa Firefly?
No, he's Dick Jones, but you're probably right, too.
Lol, you have no idea. But does he murder?
What?
This week's videos are sponsored by Prize Picks, the easy-to-use fantasy sports betting app. More on them in just a bit.
We're about to start another new season of Dexter. It is season 6, episodes 1 through 4 today. We've been on 2-episode bursts as of late. We're switching back to 4 for at least today. Most likely next week we'll be at 2 episodes again, and so on and so forth. But for right now, timestamps in the box below. Citizens, dark passengers, blood spatter, enthusiasts of the Reject Nation. It's Andrew Flash Gordon.
John Bangerang Humphrey.
It is us. We are back, and it is time to start another new season of Dexter. We are both very excited. Season 5 for us continued the just upward trajectory of quality the show has been on thus far. I know everybody doesn't agree quite past season 4, but this has been a joy. This has been a delight. These are some of my favorite things to watch on the channel. Andrew.
John.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling, John. I got a haircut. I filmed a reaction before this. I worked out earlier. I'm really sore, but that's
been
good.
Talking about how sore you are
No
today.
pain, no brain, so
That's right.
I'm doing well. So how are you, John?
I am groovy, Andrew. I'm ready for this new season. It's been a day, but it's been a pretty decent one. And yeah, I'm ready to be sort of whisked back into the dark world of Dexter Miami. And also, just before we hop in, one of the best things you could do for these videos is to leave a like and to share them if you care, enough, or if you know somebody who loves Dexter, who loves these types of videos. Yeah, we always appreciate that. But honestly, just being here, watching for as long as you feel like watching, that's a major help as well. So anyway, all that stuff aside, let's jump in. Season 6. Alrighty, gang. Syncing up. Amazon Prime. 1, 2, and the third. Those kinds of things. Which ones? All the small things? Oh my. Oh my.
There are times in our lives when everything seems to go wrong.
No.
When despite our best efforts and for no apparent rhyme or reason, tragedy strikes.
Did you get got?
I've been stabbed.
I understand, sir. Can you tell me your location?
Please, I need help.
What?
Please stand by for approximate address.
Did he just get stabbed incidentally, or is this a cover?
What a crazy way to open the season.
Yeah.
And there are other times when everything...
Or what a misleading way
perfectly
to do it.
That's how the last year has been for me.
Damn, Dexter on his A game.
Yeah.
Special guest stars Colin Hanks.
Hello, Ben.
Hello,
Roger.
Ben. Hello, Roger.
You know it's wrong what you've been doing.
Edward James Olmos. You almost
know our
pronounced it
names.
right.
Edward James Olmos.
Helping some of your patients live and letting others die.
Yeesh.
Making them die so you could harvest their body parts.
Ah.
This is wild, seeing him do 2 bodies at once. Have we ever seen him do that?
But I knew they must have had a regular supplier. So I did my research, and here you are.
Clear.
Wow.
Get the defibrillator, Ray. Defibrillator. I don't care. How do you say it, John?
What were they gonna... Wow.
Oh.
Bonkers.
Is it defibrillator?
I think it's defibrillator.
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 Defibrillator. I had
Slice
speech
of life.
problems growing up, guys. Still hasn't gotten any better.
I've learned that periods of darkness can overcome us at any time. But I've also found that I'm able to endure. Overcome.
We endure, Master Wayne.
And in the process grown stronger, smarter.
I remember that they... Oh, John Dahl.
Boy's back.
I remember they moved in with him over the summer, right?
All is well in my little corner of the world.
Aster and Cody.
I was gonna say we got a full box now. Yeah, almost.
Damn, he has been busy.
Hey, man, it's been a year of winning.
Oh, he's got darkness in him of lumen in himself. It's a lot of darkness to carry.
A lot of darkness to siphon out into the night.
Hey, Jamie. It's not what you're thinking.
Oh.
What is it then?
Dex.
It's really not what you're thinking.
Oh.
What is
okay.
it then?
Captain Ian Harrison while I took a really quick swim.
Thank you.
Oh no, we never knew Nanny?
This was a great idea.
No more Sonia?
Buying the apartment next to yours? Because now you can slip in and out of your place day or night without anyone knowing.
I never really thought about that. We just needed the extra space.
How's my sister working off here?
Okay.
Harrison loves her.
And I love him.
Aw.
I will need you to stay late tomorrow night.
Your high school reunion. Already on my calendar.
Aw.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sad. It's cool to get a new character, but I'm sad. No more Sonia. I really.
Big day for you tomorrow. We're all moving forward.
Cut to Harrison's inner monologue.
At Our Lady of the Gulf, we like to create enough structure for our children so that they feel safe and enough freedom so that they feel challenged.
Oh, what's her name? I've seen her and stuff.
Attendance in our preschool guarantees your child admission to our secondary school, which, as I'm sure you know, is a highly esteemed feeder school to some of the finest Ivy League universities in the country.
Feeder school is a fascinating term.
As I'm sure you know, we have a very rigorous admission process. Not everyone that applies to Our Lady of the Gulf gets in.
Oh, man.
We're referred to us by
Angel Batista.
The Sergeant Batista at the police station where we work. We
Yes.
being the people that protect you in case something bad happens.
That's right. Use that cloud.
And serve you.
I remember Angel. His daughter did very well here.
Oh.
So, you are Catholic as well, Mr. Morgan.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I'm not.
Love G's.
And though it does have a certain appeal, I'm not sure it's right for everyone.
Oh, my. You don't want your kid coming up religious?
Protestant?
No.
Jewish?
No.
Muslim?
No.
Church of the Flying Spaghetti
Any
Monster?
religious affiliation?
Yeah, he's vigilante. That's his religion.
What do you believe in, Mr. Morgan?
Ooh.
Justice.
Nothing. I don't believe in anything.
I don't think, therefore I am not.
Harrison really seemed to like it in there. He didn't want to leave.
I think you just like the cookies.
And he already made some friends.
Aw.
You really believe in nothing?
Yeah, I suppose I believe in a certain set of principles.
Code of Harry.
Set of
Hey.
rules on how to conduct myself in the world so that I don't get into trouble.
It's fun getting into trouble.
I'm not the most religious person in the world. I mean, Mom practically had to drag me to church, but seriously?
You believe in cussing.
A set of rules to follow so you don't get in trouble? Sounds like something I might teach a puppy.
Yeah.
Is that so bad?
It just sounds kind of cold and empty.
Oh. I hope we see him have, like,
I don't
Jesus
know. You can
visions
believe
all
whatever you
season.
want to believe, or not believe whatever you want to believe.
Maybe Harry's gonna look like Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not just about you anymore. You're a father. What about Harrison? You have to think about what you want him to believe.
Yeah, it's true.
To be honest, I've given a lot of thought to what I don't want to pass on to Harrison, namely my dark passenger, but very little about what I do want to pass on.
Dude, those
Yes.
pipes.
She was appointed to the department 12 years ago in June.
Why do you smell like old lady?
At the mall, they sprayed me a cologne.
The mall? The only thing you smell like when you mall.
Was it Je veux for me?
Corn dog.
It's too early for a corn dog.
No, he wanted a corn dog.
Ladies
Amiga
and gentlemen, I
Cubana.
give you Captain LaGuerta.
Woo!
Captain. Everyone's getting promoted to captain for me today.
Captain. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Captain.
Captain.
This is your captain speaking.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's going on? What politics is happening here? Is this going to be the It's Not What It Seems episode?
That was a beautiful speech, but you were very convincing.
Okay, cut the crap, Maria. Give me the book.
What?
Oh, did she have something on him?
You know, you're lucky I'm the one who founded it. Anybody else would have thrown you to the wolves.
Yeah.
Deputy Chief Matthews featured prominently in Miami Madam's Little Black Book.
Please, don't talk about integrity to me.
Oh.
You divorced that husband of yours as soon as you realized he was no career rascal.
That
What?
is not true. And you know
Save
that.
it.
Oh, no.
I'm not interested.
Oh, no. I don't like
No more
that.
Angel Huerta?
So okay.
Watch your step, Maria. Playing with the big boys now.
I should have realized. I guess I should have wondered harder when Angel had moved next door to Dexter.
Yeah.
This is the home of Miami Metro Homicide. And this is the heart of it all, my lab.
This is Bria.
Oh, is that
Holy crap.
her friend that she was telling us about?
Mallory's co-host. Shouts out, Reading Glasses, Reading Smut. Go check them out.
Class, this is Detective Morgan and Detective Quinn, and that is Sergeant Batista. And this is the future of forensic science.
Wow.
Not the future of law enforcement. Oh yeah, we had him already on last season.
The future looks very bright.
Huh? Oh, we're making eyes.
Have you heard from Harrison's preschool yet?
Not yet.
Tick-tock, Dex.
Okay.
That's the tick-tick.
Oh,
tick.
tick-tock.
Your
Tick, tick,
preschool
tick.
prospects running out.
Was tick tick tick? Was that what what's his name said?
Yeah, it'll be good to catch up with some
Jordan
of the old
Chase
friends.
You're hoping to get laid.
Hey.
Yeah, buddy.
You got me.
Which of your old high school friends is a despicable slime that needs to be murdered?
Janet Walker, but I knew her as Janet McKellen.
Uh-oh. What did you do, Janet?
I didn't exactly have friends in high school, but she was always nice to me.
Fascinating POV in the flashback.
She and Joe Walker were voted most beautiful couple our senior year.
They're beautiful.
And Joe hardly knew I existed. Joe was captain of the football team, a real bruiser on the field.
And off.
But I remember him for the he left on Janet.
Jesus. In high school?
They got married straight out of high school and moved to Virginia. I'd almost forgotten about her until I noticed her obituary in the alumni newsletter.
Seems as kind as the Trinity.
She was found dead 3 years ago.
Oh, shit.
But there was blood underneath her fingernails.
I guess we...
How could it get there if her fingers were...
Guess we know why he's interested in the reunion.
From her body. It must belong to someone else. Perhaps someone she scratched while putting up a fight.
I want to make a season where Dexter, you think he's always coming up with covers for murder, but then it turns out he's just doing all the stuff he says he's going to do. I want to make a season where he just goes to the reunion and has a nice time.
Just has a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah, it's awkward because he has trouble connecting, and that's it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Under the blood red moon. Ooh.
Well, also, too, he could be going somewhere for actually some normalcy, and then things just unfold.
Yeah. And then he's like, damn it, I can't go anywhere without finding terrible people.
I'm cursed to live this life.
I'm cursed, yeah, to find the scum of the earth. Come on.
Florida water snakes don't lay eggs.
Really?
I did not know that.
They give birth.
Hell yeah.
Around 20 or 30, sometimes even more.
So are they different from normal snakes? Are they not snakes at all?
There, and she's pregnant. Makes her fat and slow.
You're fat, then you're slow. You're yes, then you're no. You're baby snakes out and...
Well done.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of them inside.
Well, you're gonna need a 7.
Number of the deadly sins.
Who are we killing with 7 baby snakes?
I was invisible in high school. Just a shadow.
Hey.
Nice.
Cool high school picture of Michael Steele.
Yeah.
Dexter!
There can be only one.
Lab partners ever, right, dude?
Alan.
You're like the first student ever to ask for sex.
That was a great learning experience.
Now you're some hotshot blood spatter guy. It's awesome.
I love the awkward straight-on framing.
Where's the football jock?
Activia.
I know it's a high school reunion, but he looks like a man unaffected by his wife's demise.
I'm finally going to get some use out of my class ring. I sharpen part of it so that I can prick Joe's hand when we shake and draw a small drop of blood.
Uh-oh.
Oh, didn't work. No.
Andrew.
Didn't work. You're not bleeding.
Hey, my date to the spring formal.
Which was held right here.
What a night that was.
My.
Hey, I'm so sorry to hear about your wife.
Oh, thanks.
These are fascinating shots.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you ever get married?
I did.
Think they're meant to
This is my wife.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Oh.
It's really
the last man
not what
that
you
I ever
think.
dated.
Wow. You're the good luck Chuck.
Trisha.
You look fantastic.
Trisha.
Wait to sit down and catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some people I need to say hello to first.
Oh, no. Go to her.
From invisible to not being able to be left alone.
It's like someone's been working out.
Oh, my God. Apparently, you made an impression on a lot of people
I do
back
like
then.
these camera shots because they're all up in his face and not leaving him alone.
Oh, yeah, they're good. No, they're good at putting you in his shoes for this. These sort of like awkward close-up exchanges.
Yeah.
You've had a personal tragedy. Unlike everyone else, you look better than you did 20 years ago. And you've got a cool job. Put all those things together, and it makes you popular. How's it feel?
Good job, Dexter.
Aw, it's an actual father-son moment.
Most of the people here would love to be popular.
Most of the people here don't have 2 rolls of duct tape, 80 yards of plastic sheeting, and a surgical saw in their trunk.
It's not the end of the world, Dex.
Maybe Sam has those things, though.
So what am I supposed to do?
Enjoy it, son.
Embrace it. Hey.
Take it.
Take it.
Yeah, being a blood spatter analyst really isn't so much of a job as it's a calling.
Now, you know what I want to hear him say? I said, boom, you looking for this?
Are the modern American cowboys.
Yes.
Modern American cowboys. Yeehaw.
Look at Dexter being all social. He's stealing the limelight from me.
What's going on, man?
He's so jealous of him. It's like, dude, I had to be jealous of you for 4 years.
A sample of my own blood.
I moved to Virginia, sporting goods stores. It's good business.
Seems like. Look at that coat.
I work for Miami Metro Homicide.
You're a cop?
No, I'm a lab geek. I work in the forensics department.
Now I remember the science brainiac.
Hey. Brainiac DC. It's DC. James Gunn. Man of Tomorrow is Brainiac.
Looks just like not James Marsden from Smallville, who played Spike on Buffy.
Yeah, it's true. We both lost our wives way too early.
Oh, boy.
You know, it's been 3 years now, and still, sometimes I get so angry with Janet doing what she did, leaving me like that.
Yeah, but this episode has all been about misdirection, so is it for sure him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
It's so obvious that it's him, but if it's him, I don't.
Trisha Billings.
Right. I spoke to her a little while ago.
Trish is a dish.
Hey.
Prom queen, still hot as ever.
You should go make a move, Andrew. You got
I would if I was there, John.
Regret in high school is that I never tapped that sweet ass.
Well, you were dating Janet then.
Right.
Don't remind me.
I mean, whether he did it or not, he's still a scum.
I should at least go say hello. Yep.
Yeah, I do wonder. He doesn't seem like a great guy, but maybe he's not a vile guy.
Come on, Dexter. It's hammer time.
It's clobbering time.
Hey.
I have no idea what hammer time is.
Oh, come on, Dex. Just puff out your parachute pants.
Get it, John. Get it, John.
Yeah. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. I don't have enough billows
you guys
in my
should see
pants.
him tear down on the dance floor.
You get the point, you know.
He's a scientist on the dance floor. Very methodical.
Yes. I analyze the dance spatter pattern.
Yes.
I'd like some oranges, please.
Naranjas.
Oh, that is a very ancient-looking sword.
I have a feeling they're...
I mean, that was the deal. We divorced. Things go back to where they were when we were still friends.
That's exactly what this is.
Yes, exactly.
I'm choosing you as your homicide because you're the best there is. There's no other reason.
You sure?
I'm sure.
I'm someone who needs to be on the streets.
The street can be exciting, but it's also hard. And none of us are getting any younger.
She also doesn't want him in danger.
She's too old for this shit.
What movie is that from, John?
Besides, the prestige and salary bump can't hurt.
God, I was just saying, but how much of a salary bump?
Yeah.
20% the first year.
Nice. Way to go, Angel.
If I have any hope of blending in, I need to learn this. Just enough so that I can get close to Joe and draw a bit of blood.
So the football is made of pigskin, right, Joe?
Even the coffin corner. It's kind of nice to rejoin this in like a bit of a status quo again.
Everybody stay behind the yellow tape and watch me work my magic.
Yes.
Watch well. One of you will be lucky enough to become my intern.
Now pick a card, any card.
That will have to be earned.
He's looking right at her.
Anybody?
Not yet. An early morning customer called it in.
Wow. Is he disemboweled?
I think so.
Intestines.
Yeah.
We've covered that, Sherlock.
They're human.
Oh, eyebrow bounce.
Probably in the process of unloading. The victim went down, and he was dragged down to here.
Where he was beaten to death with several bananas.
Watch the blood.
Follow the blood.
Oh, jeez.
Body part removal could be drug related. Could be Santeria, voodoo.
Nah, we've already done that.
Could you guys set up a larger perimeter?
Effing
search the area?
voodoo.
The body might have been dumped nearby.
It's got to be something religious. I feel like the school and now these guys.
I'm gonna sneak back to my reunion. I got a big flag football game to suit up for.
Did I just hear him right?
This is the thread through which she discovers the secret. He's like, Dexter, football, if something doesn't add up, I gotta tail him now.
This is what I didn't know I needed in my life, Dexter. Playing flag football.
Gotta sack him. You gotta sack him. Owie.
Wait, it's supposed to be flag football and not tackle.
I know.
Come on, Dexter. Stay low.
Yes, cheer him on, Dad.
That's so fun.
My lancet.
No.
It means no blood sample.
Ugh. That's funny.
It's like I had to come out here now for nothing. Where's Trish? Is she not cheering them on?
You're an offensive lineman. It's your job to stay close to the quarterback and protect him from the rushers.
I love how confused he looks.
Jab in the nose with your elbow.
Good advice, Dad. Way to go, Harry.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Ooh, boy. I'm kind of worried about this, honestly. Oh, wowie.
Sorry. Oh, whoa. Who taught you how to play football?
My dad.
My dad just now.
That was...
Oh,
now I want to see Dexter go up against Bobby Boucher in a football game.
Yes. A murdering Adam Sandler. That would actually be a really sick plot line.
We've got a blood match. Tomorrow night, Joe is all mine.
Oh, wow. All right. Guess no misdirect there.
God has put a desire for himself in every person.
Look, I know this is a little basic, but how do we even know there is a God?
Oh, my.
Faith, belief.
Explain it to Harrison.
Oh, wow.
But there is a God.
Oh, my.
Was in...
Oh, my.
Damn, I hope this doesn't shatter his belief.
There is a powerful sense of moral goodness.
In many of us.
But honestly, when you really get down to it, it's all about faith.
You just believe there must be something.
It's very hard to put into words.
Because it makes no sense.
Angel, you really made it all much more clear.
Always happy to help.
Made me justify my own beliefs and how I already feel.
So it's such a funny, like they're not on the same page, but it's still sweet.
Just seems like some nights the pain, the loneliness, whatever it is he's feeling, gets to be too much, and he's got to just disappear for a while. Go out on his
Disappear for a while.
Keep it away from Harrison.
Is Angel going to discover it this season?
Oh,
Poor guy needs a hobby or something.
Totally.
He definitely does.
We're celebrating. Looking at the next lieutenant of homicide.
Way to go, Angel.
Man.
That is so fantastic. Wait, when did this happen?
It's not official yet. I'm only acting LT, but should come to any day now.
I'm so scared that it's not going to happen. Hey.
I just wanted to apologize for the other day. I didn't mean to come across as indifferent.
Agnostic.
My father taught me what he thought was important, but I guess we had some concerns that seemed more pressing. I want Harrison to have a normal childhood. I would like for him to go here.
Oh, I love this, the protective, loving father.
And you came all the way out here this morning just to tell me
It seemed important.
Seemed important.
this. I'll see if we can find a place for your son.
Thank you.
I'm fascinated by what this faith angle is going to add to the season if they stick with it. Oh.
Well, they got 7
boy.
snakes, didn't they?
I was going to say, does this one have all his guts? Oh. Oh, boy.
For some reason, I thought that was Deborah.
He wasn't in that water very long, 3-4 hours max.
So he's dumped right offshore. It doesn't look like somebody was trying to hide him.
No, more like they wanted the body to be found.
Send a message. Yeah.
Holy shit. Someone cut him open and then sewed him back up.
Wild.
His incisions were made post-mortem.
Ugh. Yeah.
Omar Rivera.
That's our guy.
These stitchings are really weird. There's like an A and then a horseshoe kind of thing.
It's a cult symbol.
Alpha Omega.
How do you know Greek?
I dated some sorority chicks back in the day.
Of course.
Tracks. Absolutely. Oh my god. Oh.
Is that the snakes?
It's a movie.
Did they put the snake in there?
They must have.
Oh.
That's so.
Ew.
Oh, they put them all in.
Fuck, snake!
Holy Frankenstein!
I hate snakes. 7 snakes.
7 snakes, 7 seals.
Your guy just fainted.
I don't think he's right for the job.
No, they're freshwater snakes. Somebody put them there. Somebody cut him open, took out his intestines, and replaced them with snakes.
That's like a biblical...
Whatever the message, whoever sent it went to a lot of time and trouble. This is no amateur.
Ooh, the game is afoot.
If it wasn't for you, I'd have never made it through high school.
Really?
I cheated off you on every test. Oh, she gonna try and make out with him.
Saved my life.
What?
We had so many classes together, and I'd always sit right behind you. Every test we took, I'd copy all your answers. That's how I got through. I never noticed how cute you are.
Oh, dang. Let's go, Dex.
Oh my God, Mr. Smith's class.
This is it.
Wow. You helped me a lot in this classroom.
Dude, Dexter, she won't get down.
I brought a frog for you
And
to
dirty.
dissect. Can you dissect it now?
Your purse?
Bye-bye.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh, I see you again?
I guess not. She got from him what she wanted. That's it.
Is that what you came for?
Ooh,
do you need
you bad girl?
Smart guy. I should have known. This guy, I feel like I've seen before.
Fast reflexes. I hate jocks.
Jocks.
It's you.
I'm a mighty panther.
Fuck's up with you?
Tonight is meant for victory. It's time to make you dead.
Hey.
I don't think that last line's right.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Make them dead. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah, very emphatic. Whoa.
On a scoreboard.
Why'd you kill Janet?
What? Who said I killed Janet? I didn't kill Janet. I was...
Wow.
You shot Janet, then put the gun in her hand.
No, I came home and I found her. Okay.
Oh, he gave that up fast.
Yeah? Why? Why'd you have to?
Because we were having problems. And the marriage was over.
And so you killed her?
That's...
You know how expensive a divorce is?
Holmes.
That's your answer?
Holmes.
That is awful, dude.
How do you reconcile your belief in a higher power and a god with what you've done?
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
I'm just curious.
I like how this is making him a little more introspective.
I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
This goes beyond a mistake.
They do things that they shouldn't do.
Took another life.
Human, but God forgives us.
You are not using faith as a justification for what you did.
I could kill you and God would forgive me.
Well, no.
You just said he would.
You have to truly repent.
Only God forgives.
If you let me go, God will give you life everlasting and whatever you want.
Nah, there's really nothing I need.
I'll give you a car.
Please stop.
And I have been washed in the blood of the Lamb, and he will protect me!
Oh, wow.
You marry me?
Oh.
Thank you.
I met you at JCPenney.
Whoa! Holy shit, what?
Jeez.
Just coming into a bar and shooting?
God, this is a chilling...
And this shit happens in real life.
It's happened in Florida.
Yeah.
It's happened here. I mean, it's happened all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh, my God. This is so gnarly.
Don't fucking move!
All right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Deb. Oh.
Oh, golly.
I'm not at all unhappy. I'm quite content to go about my life believing in nothing.
Huh?
With no fear that there might be something more out there.
Beautiful. Golden hour shot.
What an establishing shot on these two.
And upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
B-L-A-S-P-A.
We are watching a lot of stuff with a lot of religious allegories, John, lately.
Oh, yeah, man. These guys are quoting all sorts of Revelations shit.
And I have to think about what he wants and what's best for him, because who knows? Maybe he'll grow up to be someone who wants to think about those kinds of things.
That was the title again. Oh my god. Alrighty, gang. Solid start to the season.
Hey.
Let's cue up season 6, episode 2. Right new. Once upon a time.
So Quentin Tarantino directed this one.
In Miami. And, you know, maybe it was Sergio Leone.
A few days ago, I was convinced there was nothing I believed in.
Or Robert Rodriguez.
But I was wrong. There is something I truly believe.
Toilet training.
Everything's better after a bubble bath.
Buddy.
It is, factually.
Rituals are important.
No. Oh my god, they...
Just for a serial killer.
You should press his face into the shirt.
But also for a 2-year-old, if you want him to go to bed on time.
Well, let's get a baby version of the opening credits where he's just like eating formula. Mose? Who's Mose?
Monster story, Daddy.
Oh, he's talking.
Okay, I may have told him this one before.
Uh-oh. Who's the monster?
Once upon a time, there was a little Chino scaring everyone who lived.
Sounds like the audio's.
Nobody knew what to do.
A little Chino.
But Daddy did. He would slay that icky monster.
Icky monster.
Hiding what was left of him in a special
You know what happened
place
to the
that no one
monster?
would ever
Die.
find.
Daddy's.
Oh, snap.
You know about Daddy's box?
Oh, boy.
I always knew this
Daddy's
day would come.
box.
I'm not sure how this next chapter goes.
Mm-mm.
Is that the last of them?
Just one more to go.
It's like a place you might find Michael Myers in.
We'll be ready soon.
I may be a little late tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Are they like...
Tell me that now.
Are they members of the clergy?
Can't help it. It shouldn't take long. Nothing's changed.
Travis, we have to find another.
Travis.
Don't you think I already know that?
Oh.
Now look what you've done.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
This disdaining father figure.
I just want to make sure that I can rely on you.
Of course.
Good boy.
Good boy. Yeah, I'm very fascinated
Oh, I
to
thought
know
he
what
was gonna
these
about to hit him.
these two's connection is, aside from the mission.
Hello.
Creepy.
Wow, full-on breakfast.
Yeah, juice is in the fridge, freshly squeezed.
Hey.
Freshly squeezed? What is she, Lois Lane?
Breakfast is a good way to start the day.
Yeah, another day of sitting on our asses waiting for OIS to clear us on the restaurant shooting.
Aw, dude.
You do realize the bar is set very high with me and pancakes. My dad's were the best.
Uh-oh.
The fuck?
Hey.
What are you doing?
I wanted to do this the other night, but the shooting sort of messed everything up.
Yeah, they have a way of doing that.
Will you?
Are you insane?
Come on, Deb, I'm trying to be fucking romantic here.
Yeah, Jesus.
Romantic isn't springing something like this on me. When have we ever talked about marriage?
Oh, dude, this was kind of romantic.
We could get up.
Oh, dude.
Deb, we've been at this for a year. You know, you make me happy, I make you happy.
So?
So?
I love you.
But this is huge.
Last time she got engaged, it didn't end well, Donald. With Biney.
It's just...
Gotta be hard for her to entertain the idea.
I just need time to think about this.
Take all the time you need.
Aw.
I'm not going anywhere.
Pancakes are burning.
Damn it. Sabotaged. Harry wins again.
Quinn just fucking proposed to me over fucking pancakes.
And fresh juice.
He's Quinn?
He's
I wanted
hyperventilating.
to spend the rest of my life with him.
Oh, no.
So I take it this means it's a no? I can only hope. Quinn as Deb's boyfriend is one thing. Uncle to my son over his dead body.
Which one of their dead bodies?
I mean, I guess Quinn makes me happy.
Really? Because there's a vein in your forehead.
Quinn and I, we get along great, and there's no drama.
They're cut of similar cloth.
After the last couple of years, that's kind of nice.
But
I need the drama, baby.
But I'm not sure I want anything more than no drama right now.
sounds like you have your answer.
But if I tell him no, then it's over, right? God, why can't things just stay the same?
Why can't you just stay the same? Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm a hero. Fuck you very much.
Totally gone viral, Morgan. You're an internet sensation.
Fuck you very much.
She's a superstar. I mean, have you guys read the comics?
Superstar. And if you're the one that wrote the poem about my ass...
I know not of what you speak.
This is also dangerous because it exposes who she is, right?
Where are we with ballistics from the restaurant shooting?
All casings and bullets are accounted for. All the victims were shot by the shooter's gun, and no stray bullets from Morgan or Quinn.
Shooter talking?
He was pissed off the restaurant fired him. The manager was the first to go down.
2 dead, all because this asshole wanted his job back waiting tables.
That's why he shot at the restaurant. Jesus.
Dex, do you have any report come back on the food vendor?
Nothing we didn't already know. The stitches and the snakes are definitely post-mortem.
No.
I and my lovely new intern, Ryan, are still waiting for the medical examiner to return our snakes.
Yale is looking into our Vic. Ryan had ties with the Salas cartel.
You still thinking this is drug-related?
A snake is a snitch. If this wasn't a warning to others to keep their mouth shut, I'm not sure what the message is.
No.
Maybe because the message is in a language only I understand.
Bible.
What is that holy piece of shit doing here?
I know that piece of shit.
Moss?
Or
Mos, I
they
mean.
freaking Mos Def.
Rivera was at brother Sam's garage after he got out of jail.
Guys like that and his ex-con fucking friends can go to hell for all I can.
When did they just become Mos?
Brother Sam?
That's literally what I thought of when I saw it.
Ex-con turned minister. He runs an auto body shop using former inmates. And as you can see, some of our brothers in blue think it's a sham.
Nah, man.
They may be right. That can't be a man of the cloth.
He's reformed himself.
That's a killer.
He's doing some Father Greg Boyle shit. Come on.
Damn, look at that old format for YouTube.
Oh no, it's not good if he's watching it. I don't like it.
Settled in next door.
Well, that would explain the smell of perfume.
I was wondering, have you gotten around to finalizing Sergeant Batista's paperwork?
Not gonna happen.
I think the sooner the department has a full-time lieutenant, the better.
I could not agree more.
It's not gonna be Batista, is it?
Is that all, Captain?
Oh boy.
What is she gonna have to do for him to make that decision official?
Is he gonna make it Deb?
When's the last time you saw him?
I guess you could be right. I can see that.
He came in, he needed some breaks for his pickup.
Damn, dude.
He brought everybody grapefruits and oranges. It was a good day.
Well,
Are you guys any closer to finding out who did this to him?
Well, that's why you're here. I need something to go on.
When I knew Brother Sam, he was Samuel Wright. A string of holdups led to the inevitable. One of his victims fought back, and Wright killed him.
Oh, shit.
I was ready to make my move until a drug bust took Wright off my table.
You never saw Rivera hanging out with any of his old crew?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my.
Olmos had moved past that world. He was on the righteous path.
Maybe he really has reformed, and those guys are such religious zealots.
Same thing about the last ex-con you vouched for.
Must pay for their sins.
He gets paroled and goes out and kills a 19-year-old girl.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't pray for that girl or reach out to her family.
Yeah.
Well, her blood's on your hands.
There's a lot more than that girl's blood on my hands.
Damn, dude.
Or the work that I do, or the men that I do it with. What I do know is this. Omar did not have this coming. His demons were gone. Men can change.
That'll be fascinating.
Men, maybe.
So I would guess that Colin Hanks and Edward James Olmos are going to come after him.
Maybe. I don't know.
But what about a monster?
I feel like he would have some insight maybe into like the nature of what they're doing. It seems very biblical, very apocalyptic revelation stuff.
I remember when I had this office.
Good call, John Old. That was very good of you, sir. And it's going to put her in a very tough, conflicting place because she loves Angel.
You could trust back then.
Harry was one of the good ones. And so are you.
Oh, poor Angel.
You're one of the good ones, Hank.
I'm happy for Deb, but that sucks for Angel.
It's why I'm making you Homicide's new lieutenant.
You're serious.
You're exactly what this department needs. A fresh face, new ideas.
You want me in charge?
Can she give it up to Angel if she wants to?
But this is Batista's job. He's expecting it. He's earned it.
Well, Sergeant Batista is a fine officer, but he comes with certain baggage.
Ooh.
Besides, he's not a hero. You are.
Why does everyone keep saying that? I was just doing my job.
That's not how the city sees it.
It's not the spin.
This office needs someone like you.
Yeah, public relations-wise, this will be a good story to make the hero the lieutenant.
And poor Masuka, I'd be that little fuck's boss.
Oh, he'd get off on that.
I'd be everybody's boss.
Including Quinn.
Is an honor.
Oh, yeah.
You got to talk to Batista, though.
Do you really think I'm ready for something like this?
I know this is a lot to take in. We can talk about it.
Well, we know that politics is such a big thing in this office. Optics.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
You need to be out on the street, too.
I really feel for frickin' Batista, dude. Oh, man.
Yeah, I was worried about this. I like this.
What the fuck is going on today?
Got proposed to, Lieutenant.
I like
Your
the
eyes
quirky
on the
music.
ball and not on Daddy's bad pictures. Samuel Wright killed this store owner in cold blood.
Jesus.
Now he's calling himself Brother Sam, professing to be a changed man.
Uh-oh.
But I can't tell if I'm seeing a man who's changed for the better or just a better cover.
Daddy's box.
Oh, no.
Would it put this in Daddy's box? Seems like yesterday he was just learning to crawl.
Daddy's box.
Almost looked like it. Was that the Spinosaurus we just saw?
What I say, what I do, where things go.
Uh-oh.
His mind is like a sponge.
Is that going to be enough?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
boy.
Oh, Deb.
You're looking at Homicide's new fucking lieutenant. I know, right? Got any beer?
Crack a cold one.
Hey, Lieutenant.
LT?
Nope. 2 beers in and it still sounds fucking weird.
Yes.
I can't do this.
It's been fascinating to watch her growth. She wanted to become a homicide detective so badly.
Be thinking.
Now this.
You're smart, you're driven, you're a great detective.
Mm-hmm.
Will be leading the department that may hunt me down one day.
Oh, foreshadowing.
You should give yourself some credit.
You should give me another beer. I'm empty here.
Yeah. Reload.
You ever wonder why Dad never made LT?
He had his hands full with me.
Everyone talked about him like he was some super cop, but he stayed in the pen his whole career.
Meet the cop who can't be stopped.
Doesn't look like Jackie Chan.
You know, after his funeral, a tiny part of me was relieved. I tried so hard to get him to pay attention to me.
She'll learn the truth at some point.
And I thought with him gone, I wouldn't need his approval anymore, but
Here we are.
20 years later, I still do. He's still up here in my head.
Rent-free.
Dad was my litmus test for what a real cop is supposed to be. And if he never made lieutenant...
You have no one to compare yourself to.
And I don't want to be fucking LaGuardia. So how would I even know if I was doing a good job? I'd be totally on my own on this.
Chart your own
Gotta
passes.
create your own.
Well, if you don't want the job, don't take it.
Fuck you, of course I want it. Quinn, again. What the fuck does he want?
Out on a limb here, but maybe an answer as to whether you want to be Deborah Quinn.
Yeah.
Jesus H. Fuck, I totally forgot.
Ugh.
Deborah Quinn, your initials will be DQ.
I have no idea what to say to him.
Just go off, Dairy Queen.
Tell him you're gonna be his boss.
Can I sleep here? About one life-altering decision a day is my max.
Yeah, I'll sleep on the couch in the other room.
That's why you don't suck as a brother.
Oh.
But what about as a father?
Daddy's box. What's in Daddy's box? Dude, we were just watching, not just, but recently Nobody 2, and Colin Hanks is like...
I didn't even know he's in that.
A little unhinged in that movie. It's fun to watch him like play an unbridled character.
Watched him do a guest star in oh no. Oh, it's just his...
Oh, Travis!
Oh, God.
Damn it!
Really wish you wouldn't use that word.
Well, maybe I wouldn't if my brother would use the doorbell.
Oh. Is he in love with her?
Really scared me.
I don't know. He's giving weird looks, though. Maybe I was just reading that wrong.
Eat your veggies, son.
Let's have some room for dessert.
I told you I have to work tonight.
Okay, I just read that wrong with the weird looks. And
What is your work exactly? On the record.
Busy.
Call me Bismarcky.
Today, all they could talk about was they found another flock of those dead birds up north.
I think it's the end of the world or something.
A plague, a pestilence, a pox.
Then I'd say we better eat this ice cream fast.
Mm-hmm.
Ben and Jerry's.
Have to go.
Oh, come on. Blow off work for once. For me. I barely get to see you anymore.
Well, that was before
Work?
My work.
For what?
It's nothing.
You people pleaser.
Travis, we used to be so close. We used to talk and do things. Now it's like pulling teeth just to see you for an hour.
Now we're like Dexter and Deborah.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
Oh,
So let me spend an evening with my baby brother.
damn, dude.
I don't think Edward James Olmos is going to be up. He said, I need to know I can rely on you.
Torn between his vocation and his life at home. Don't forget your coffee. I've been there. Don't forget the coffee. Come on now. No.
Oh.
Now, who put that there?
What's the damage?
Just the place to get this fixed.
It was intentional.
Smart guy. Giving real stern looks there.
And we hear something about Mose saying something about the auto shop.
Ding my car. Is Brother Sam here?
He's out back.
What's he doing out back? Crimes!
He's praying for all the cars that are here.
Damn. All right.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I was hoping to get an estimate.
You're not from around here, are you?
What?
Your shop came highly recommended.
Oh,
Coworker.
you out front?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the Holy Spirit or his dark passenger checking out mine?
Yeah, my guys can have this out in a day or two.
Fascinating.
Good shepherd, what's that mean exactly?
Huh?
Men you see here, they're like my flock. My job is to make sure that they don't want.
He's so natural. I love watching.
It's a lot to take on.
Yeah, well, I got a lot to answer for.
I'm rooting.
Nothing broke that can't be fixed, right? Correcto. Lord have mercy.
I'm rooting for him to be legit.
No cause ever told.
It's like a man's life, like a man's soul. I ought to know that.
No one's killed a man, walked off scot-free. For that, I need to pay.
Woof.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
But don't be. The spirit moves me to tell my story and share it.
I mean, for him to admit something like that.
I was facing death row. Judge presiding over my case suddenly dropped dead.
Mistrial? Yeah, it sounds like divine intervention.
God was playing me all right. I had to go out here and get good and high before he just said, son, that's enough.
Huh.
And I get stopped, possession charge, you go back to jail. But hallelujah, praise God, that's how I got saved.
So that darkness inside is gone?
Very pink shot.
No, still there. But I'm fighting his ass every day. I really don't have much of a choice.
The fact that he can be this direct and open. You feel like he's changed?
That bad part
Possibly.
of my soul
Or he's trying.
Pain I call.
Nick still hasn't showed.
You find him and you tell him I'm coming for him. You understand?
You don't admit stuff like this if you haven't, or if you're not attempting to.
Tell him now.
One of the flock get lost?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
So, what do you say there, brother?
Guess I'll be seeing you soon.
All right.
Hey.
You have a blessed day.
Had a double meaning there.
You too.
As we work on magic, we put it up on the board here.
She's back, John.
Let's go.
So where does everything go after it's been run?
Inquisitive, I like.
Wow.
Yeah, medical examiner finally sent him over. It'll make you squeamish.
Are you kidding?
My God.
Wow.
My God.
I think he likes it too.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. No.
Hands off.
She's my student.
Yeah, and a lawsuit landing on my desk if she catches you staring like
That
that.
sounds like someone's expecting to make Lieutenant Buzzkill.
Ooh, ouch.
He still doesn't know.
Oh, my God. The boots, too.
Oh, this is so tough.
Yeah, you gotta talk to him.
Well, he's the one who stood by her, too, when LaGuerta ostracized her.
You really drink that swill?
Keeps me young.
How about we go around the corner and I buy you a real cup of coffee? My treat.
Okay.
Okay.
Mention anything to you, about us?
She may have said you proposed.
I know you and I have had our differences, but it would really mean a lot to me if you could help me out here.
Oh.
I don't want her to feel like she has to choose between you or me.
She doesn't, because it is never going to be you.
Ouch. Oh.
I got it.
Wow, to see him vulnerable in front of Dexter like that.
It does make me wish Dexter would reciprocate a little of that.
I hate this.
I'm the detective I am because of you.
Thank you.
And you have always had
This
my
isn't
back.
her decision.
More than that, you're like family to me.
Where's this going?
Ugh.
Don't look at me for a second.
Dad.
Ugh, you know it's coming.
Angel Matthews has asked me to be the new lieutenant. I'm sorry, I know how much you wanted this.
What did you say?
You should be the new lieutenant.
What did he say?
He wouldn't listen. I could never, ever do this job without your blessing. So you just say the word and I'll tell Matthews to go fuck himself.
Oh, Deb.
It's really great.
Oh, that's not how I feel. But he's happy for his friend, but he's also.
By the time a real cop had that job, I couldn't be happy.
Angel.
I love Angel.
You get to stay out in the beat,
I'm gonna need that money back, though.
Yeah. You don't get your 20% anymore.
I just found out about Morgan. I'm so sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about. I was on the fence about this whole lieutenant thing anyway.
It's true.
This has nothing to do with you. Matthews is just using Morgan to get back at me, but it won't work. Like, she's barely out of diapers.
Don't do that.
Yeah, dude.
Deb's a good detective.
Oh, so protective over her.
Whoa.
You're angry and you have every right to
Bonk.
be, but I will fix this.
Enough, Maria. Enough.
Maria.
Angel, I'm so sorry.
Come if Matthews hates you. I'm always the one paying the price.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, come on. I want you to be a good guy. I want you to be on the true straight and narrow. That'd be really interesting. Do you get a rental car to follow him around?
I guess so. What did he say? I'll be seeing you soon?
The good shepherd has fled his field for seedier pastures.
Hey.
No. No.
The question is why?
Oh, yeah, get that TV.
Didn't he say he was looking for some guy? Oh, shit!
Jeez.
Whoa.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Okay. Wow. I take back everything I said.
Seems old habits die hard. Brother Sam's not a changed man after all. Hallelujah.
Yeah, yippee-ki-yay.
There's something we're missing here.
Mother effer.
He's taking him to a surprise birthday party, and he had to knock him out with a flashbang in order to do so. You'll see.
I could see that coming. This is what happens when you don't show up to work?
Yeah.
I can't come back for Brother Sam until I make sure he killed that man.
That's what happens when you find a man in the Alps, you know?
But while I'm checking, better safe than sorry.
Oh.
I was right all along. Brother Sam is no shepherd. He's still a wolf.
Seen a wolf in every man I ever met, and I see a wolf in you.
Well, it is an animal tranquilizer.
Oh, no. Good doggy.
Who the fuck is out here? Sam, it's me. I was here earlier, the SUV. I left my clicker from my garage in the glove compartment.
Eli.
Sorry, I didn't see anyone here. I thought I would be in and out.
Your car's inside.
Maybe we should come back tomorrow.
No.
Nah.
Get it over with now.
Like so much double meaning behind all these lines.
Eli.
Eli.
Appreciate it.
Book of Eli.
Go check out Coy, mine, and John's reaction to that.
Yeah.
This isn't how I envisioned taking down Brother Sam, but it's either him or me if I want to stay alive.
Get off the man damn car.
Huh?
I can't believe you hit me, man.
I can't believe you took a shot at me.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah.
Take Eli out back. Don't you think about running off. I chased your ass down once. I'll do it again. You understand?
Okay, okay.
Maybe I take back again what I took back.
I was going to say, I'm rooting for this man.
The missing worker.
I want him to be the real deal.
David broke a lamb's leg to protect it from wandering off.
What?
I gotta tend to my flock any way I can. Yeah. I knew when he missed his shift, he was just holed up in his house getting high.
Huh?
Good shepherd. Yeah, when I have to be.
When I have to be.
It's open.
I love how misleading
the clicker.
that was.
Oh, right.
What?
I got it.
All wrong. Is this what the power of belief is all about? The ability to change?
Oh, no. Someone...
What is it?
Wait, is that it?
Nothing good.
That's not Colin. No, okay.
Nothing
Oh, no.
good.
Stay back.
Dude, this is fascinating.
Please get off the property. Fuck you.
Is there a problem?
This you staying back. This is not your fight.
Uh-huh.
You deaf, pendejo?
All right, Lab Geek.
You should pick up your
Dark passenger voice.
Oh, we're going.
Not without our boy Nick.
Uh-oh.
And damn sure ain't afraid to die. I know what's waiting for me on the other side. Do you?
Oh.
And behold the upright, for at the end of that man is peace.
Shut up.
What you waiting for, son?
Oh.
You can't tell if Brother Sam is bluffing, crazy, or a true believer.
Maybe all three.
You don't want to do that.
Faith,
True
brother,
believer. Oh, he's so cool.
Miami Metro, you kill him or me, you'll have the whole department after you.
This ain't over. Well, until it is, I'm praying for you, son.
Oh, you best be praying that I put you down like the last fuck up that crossed me. Remember Hector Nunez? They never found his body, did they?
Boy, howdy.
Miami Metro.
Forensics department, lab geek. They didn't need to know that.
Don't fight like no lab geek.
Surprise!
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, have mercy. It's just evening full of wonders tonight, huh?
Yeah, everyone's having a day.
Praise God. Oh, it works mysterious ways.
You don't say.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
So far, so good, man. I'm waiting for that quality dip.
Not going to be happy with you.
Ugh. Did you at least bring me some ice cream?
Where were you last
I was studying calculus.
She was worried about me.
I was standing and delivering.
Couldn't get away.
You know that you can't be saved, right?
She is a good person.
You're torn.
She's all that I have.
Torn between her and the
You have
mission.
me, and you have God now. But I see.
Ugh.
You have to be reminded of that.
Ooh. Ah.
Yeah,
No.
Overtly. You see how I suffer for your sins. Stop!
Oh my God, dude.
I won't see her again. I swear. It's my job to take care of you, not hers. Forgive me. I will do better. I will show you that I am worthy.
What is their deal?
Fuck me.
Oh my God. It's a fun duality between Hanks and Olmos and then Mos Def.
So?
You shouldn't have, really.
You know, I figured if, we're going to talk, then why not over Chinese from that place you like?
Like the romantic gesture.
Years in the...
I can't marry you.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. You're so good to me, but I can't.
Ouch.
You don't want to be with me, then why are you with me?
Because it wasn't this.
I'm sorry for wanting to be an adult here, Deb.
I never meant to hurt you or lead you on.
Oh, man, this is hard.
I just like things the way they are.
Well, we gotta go changing things.
It's not good enough. I want more.
That's the problem. I don't.
Wow.
You are a
Just
Ooh.
don't be here when I get back, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm your new boss.
Yeah. Oh. Young Harry.
Just tell the little guy a story.
Jamie put him to bed.
Jamie, pull that up.
Looks like Brother Sam.
Wait, is Jamie Angel's sister?
He was true to his word about being a good shepherd. He put his own life on the line to save that kid from a pack of wolves.
And here's the leader of the pack.
Harrison eventually is going to need a good shepherd, too.
I'll be there for him.
And what
Gotta
about
lead
him?
your flock, Dexter.
I was set on proving Brother Sam still deserves to be on my table, but
I've got a new victim.
Julio goes and vets himself to take his place.
Thank you, Julio.
Hector Nunez was a barber in Julio's neighborhood, went missing 6 months ago.
All right, he did mention that name.
Never found him.
I'm not ready to call Julio a son.
Literally announced his
Thankful for the bounty.
his demise when he said that to Dexter. Is the wrong guy to announce that to.
I am thankful for the bounty I am about to.
Have any clean shirts?
Your room, or former room.
Deb being here is temporary.
Who doesn't rinse out their bowl?
Temporary.
Deb, that's who.
What do you think?
Dad would be proud.
Thanks again for letting me crash here until I find a place.
That's why I don't suck, remember? Just help Jamie out when you can.
Am I making the biggest mistake of my life?
When Jamie smiles.
Rolling the sleeves up again.
I don't know, Deb. As Harrison gets older, I've been thinking more about what I believe in. I'm coming to find the list is kind of short.
What do any of us really believe in?
I'm open for beliefs.
That you'll be a great lieutenant.
Screw Dad. I'm gonna make you proud of me.
Hey.
Dissected all 7 baby snakes. Stomachs were empty. They didn't come from a pet store. Most likely the wild. Back to square one.
Liquid nitrogen.
I hope you don't mind, but I ran tissue samples.
Well, which...
I love this view.
Frame.
Heavy metals. There was nothing in the bellies of the snakes. Where did they come from?
From Mama Snake, who had to have been living in a toxic environment to pass it on to her young.
You want to look up EPA cleanup sites, or should I?
She's actually good. Knows her stuff.
I'd rather look up your...
Whoa.
I mean, I wasn't...
You like to watch. Good to know.
Oh, he's a wild one.
He's met his match.
Fuck you, Tom. You get one of those as captain, but don't push your luck, Maria.
Yeah, one of those in a PG-13.
We agreed.
Yeah, one of those in a
Lieutenant would be
PG-13.
Batista.
I agree to nothing. And need I remind you that all personnel decisions are ultimately my decision. Oh, better hurry. Don't want to be late.
For what?
Your first official task, Captain.
You get to promote. Is she the one to promote her?
Someone could have seen your bad guys coming or going.
Yeah. Once a come and a go.
Suppose it's a start.
And what gives with all the reporters?
We're getting a new lieutenant.
Let's have Maria announce it.
Everyone.
She's become
you for
him
coming
now.
on
Have to
such
put on a
short
facade.
notice.
How happy she is in this moment.
You're here today because it's my privilege to introduce an officer who, well, under my watch, has proven herself to be one of Miami's finest.
Politics, John.
I give you the youngest officer ever to make lieutenant in the history of Miami Metro Homicide, Dexter Morgan.
Woo! Go Deb.
Go Deb, man. Jesus.
Quinn's reaction was everything.
This has been a roller coaster so far.
Mizuki's like, yes. Oh, I really appreciate Angel.
So many looks being traded.
Yes.
I gotta hand it to you, Julio. You ran quite a racket.
What a disorienting shot.
I read all about how you were shaking down local business owners.
At the barber shop?
Like Hector Nunez.
This is wild.
You recognize this shop, don't you?
Fuck you. My boys will fucking kill you for this.
Oh,
they're never gonna find your body.
Let me guess, with your...
He's Viggo Mortensen?
Hector stood up to you and your gang, and that's why they never found his body.
Yeah.
You're a dead man. My boys will fuck you.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
I'll miss you, I'm sure.
The boys will miss you.
So make this quick. I have to get home.
Every time he does the cut on the cheek, I feel it.
You must be thinking, why me right about now? I can't explain it myself. God, the universe.
Moves in mysterious ways.
This.
I know all too well.
Oh, yeah. I remember it all too well. Oh, boy.
Because monsters don't get to live happily ever after.
What does that mean for you, my friend? It's a nice contemplative bit of guitar music.
Oh, buddy.
Hey, man.
Forgot, did we start the episode on him giving a bath?
Everything's better after one. No, they're so sweet together.
Hands up. And...
Yeah.
Good job.
Now let's go slice a blood orange and make
about
some
the mind
ham.
of a 2-year-old, it's easily distracted.
Aw, so cute.
He won't remember Daddy's box if he has one of his own.
Hey.
Fun.
Monster story, Daddy.
How about a new story?
The shepherd story?
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. The first little
Their names
pig
were Ted
built
Danson,
a
Steve
house of
Gutenberg,
straw.
and Tom Selleck.
The second, a house of sticks. And the third, a house of bricks.
And the fourth, a panic room of galvanized steel.
But along came the big bad wolf.
Oh, no.
Wolves come in many forms. Some have big eyes, the better to see you with.
Huh?
Others huff and puff.
Hey?
Hey, you all right?
Oh, no.
Brain my ankle.
Really sick.
Uh-oh.
Did you fall down or something?
Yeah.
I should know, because like it or not, I'm one too.
Yeah.
That was a great cut.
Oh, man. He's got to be a priest, right?
And neither is the fact my little lamb is becoming a little boy, walking, talking, listening.
Watching, waiting, commiserating.
As much as I want Harrison to stay this way forever, from now on the only wolves in his life have to be the stuff of fairy tales. I can no longer
Have to be
allow him
wolves
to see the
starring
real me.
Brad Pitt and George Clooney.
Yes.
Only the version that's make-believe. It's the only way this story gets to have a happy ending.
So much for my happy ending. Oh my goodness.
John it.
What
We've
an
been...
episode.
Yeah.
Couple episodes.
Reject Nation, thanks so much for tuning into this video because today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. I first learned about Prize Picks through the missus because she's super into fantasy sports. And honestly, kind of makes sense for sponsoring Real Rejects. Because what we do here has always been about experiences. Not just watching something, but feeling it. Being locked in, being present. And just to be clear, this isn't about pressure or chasing wins. It's about choice, engagement, and adding a little extra fun to something you were already watching. I get it. Trying something new can be intimidating, whether that's starting a new routine or jumping into sports for the first time. But in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks strips fantasy sports down to its simplest form. Trust your instincts. No drafts, no season-long commitments, no. You just pick more or less on player projections, and suddenly every game hits a little harder. Right now with high-pressure NFL playoff games every weekend, and elite NBA action almost every night, pantomiming, the action never stops. And Prize Picks lets you take control, or just enjoy the games differently. They've added early payouts, so if your player gets hot, you can cash out before the game even ends. You can choose flex play for flexibility or power play for bigger payouts. And even if your fantasy league is already over, PrizePicks lets you keep playing, even through the playoffs. Right now, they're available in all 50 states with fast, secure withdrawals and easy deposits. You can download the PrizePicks app today and use code REJECTS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code REJECTS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Good to be right.
Smokey and
the Bandit. Okay, we're Burt Reynolds cameo coming up. Let's
go.
What if Burt Reynolds was the big bad of the season?
The Kentucky Derby, and we focus on a breakfast. Yummy, okay? No.
Mine.
When you're Harrison's age, everything's important. Everything has meaning, even a piece of molded plastic.
How about we can play with the horse afterwards, okay?
It's not molded plastic. It's horsey, and it's mine.
20 minutes to decide what to wear.
Really?
What? Don't I look okay?
Yeah, you put on a jacket.
Next time, take 22 minutes.
Yeah, well, I don't want to overdo it. I still want to look like me.
When did
Lieutenant me?
When did he start going by Mos? Is that in between Mos Def and Yasin Bey?
You know better than me.
My first day, I should probably be at the station working the snakes killing in my fucking office.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like, it's a great boost, but also a tough transition.
Yeah.
Good luck today. You're going to be great.
Oh, my.
Thanks.
Gonna be a fascinating transition to see her as lieutenant now.
Yeah, look at this place. What a location. Oh, my. Ugh.
You are a sinner.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me?
You're wearing those immodest shorts while you're exercising.
You're not going anywhere until you've repented for your sins.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm sorry for everything.
Not to me, to God.
Fascinating.
If you're sincere, all of this will end. If not, it will get much worse.
God, you gotta get that backlighting just right.
Dude, can we just find the Da Vinci Code, please?
Yes, bring me the codex.
I need to roll her over.
Uh-oh. Oh, I hate that.
Multiple blunt force trauma, manual strangulation. Take your pick.
It's so crazy when you get real actors to play corpses.
Oh, who took him here? Oh, hello. Oh, wow.
Quinn, what are we doing?
I was about to say, was he going to be with another woman?
Are you
Quinjamin?
Okay, I'm late. Sorry. Not that. The girl. What are you doing, man? What about Deb?
Deb and I broke up.
Broke up?
Yeah, 3 days ago.
Oh, no. This is how you find out.
What happened?
Lieutenant Morgan happened.
She ditched you because she got promoted? That doesn't sound like Deb.
Yeah, because this is the same Deb that stole your job.
She didn't steal my job. It was never mine to start with.
Oh, you mad.
That's always been your problem. You're too nice. You let these fucking people walk all over.
Dude, don't get in his head.
Yourself that, Miss LeGuetta.
Whoa. Oh, Angel. Oh, Angel. Oh.
You're lucky we got work to do.
Quinn, man. I get it, but oof.
Tooth is chipped.
No surprise there. She really got worked over. It's probably from a beating.
Or someone tried to rip it out.
Wow.
Oh,
Is that an MO?
Yeah.
Of a dental serial killer?
I need to pick a new detective to take my place.
Yes.
I can't afford to be down a man right now.
Well, I can help you with that.
No. Let Deb do it.
Sam Harmon from Narcotics. He's a real up-and-comer, and the fact that his father's a district judge could come in handy.
Oh, let's play politics.
Harmon's your guy. Do you want me to start the paperwork?
Is he your guy?
Yeah.
He's your guy.
Morgan.
Don't let her shove something down your throat. Not unless you're ready for seconds or thirds.
Oh.
Take it from Mrs. LeGuetta.
Oh.
Thanks.
Oh.
Deb, one of the most important things about this job is knowing how to marshal your resources. Take the help when it's offered. Remember, we're in this together.
Oh, boy.
All in this together.
Oh, man. What a situation to be in.
I remember when I found that under your bed. I would have rather it had been a stack of Playboys. Most kids in the 8th grade were obsessed with their favorite baseball players.
Yeah.
Like serial killers.
Yeah.
Mike Piazza, Eric Harris.
Mike Play Corpse. I read it for the articles.
And arrogant.
Hey. The Tooth Fairy with Dwayne Johnson.
Left a body on a deck.
I gotta see that movie.
Dude,
I want to see the second one, too.
15 women.
Is that Larry the Cable Guy?
Prostitutes, all dumped on the roadside.
Oh.
All missing their lateral incisors.
You really think there's a connection to the victim from this morning?
Her lateral incisor was cracked like someone tried to rip it out.
Yeah, that's why he made that face.
There was damage to her gums.
Ah, so icky, man.
Maybe someone was trying to relive old times.
The tooth fairy killings were in the 80s, Dexter. He'd be 70 years old at least. What would he be doing in Miami?
Retiring.
Why do most 70-year-olds come to Miami?
Wait, do you think that's Edward James Olmos?
Maybe. Well, I guess it could be, but...
Can I help you?
I hope so. I'm thinking about moving my dad down here. He's 81.
He's Ted Danson.
Coral Island's a great facility. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Do you have any other residents here from Oregon? My dad's kind of shy, and it'd be nice to have people around with something in common.
What kind of coral is it?
Besides hearing loss.
Let's see.
We have one other person. Oh, 3.
I'm sure your dad will get along with him famously.
That's good to hear.
Dude, Oregonians stick together.
Here are some brochures with everything you need to know about Coral Island. There's some forms to fill out in case you're interested in having your dad join us.
Thanks.
Oh, what a nice mug.
I hate to trouble you, but that coffee really looks good. I was going to get some earlier. I feel a caffeine headache coming on.
I know what that's like. Be right back.
Oh,
appreciate it.
She's so kind and helpful.
Speaking of mugs, you are very attractive.
Dude.
Who are the 3 on the list? It's Rosa, I knew it.
Walter Kenny moved here from Grants Pass, Oregon 5 years ago.
Walter
How are you spending your second childhood?
All right, I don't think it's Edward James Olmos.
No, you were wrong.
I told you not to trust me.
Oh, you've been doing such a good job. I put together a little surprise for your viewing pleasure.
Is this what I think it is?
Evidence from the ice truck killer investigation.
Ice truck killer? Biney?
I was obsessed with this case. I have followed it night and day. This is really sweet.
Oh, boy.
Is this the ice cream truck, John?
Yes. It's Night and Day, starring Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz.
Hospital ID.
Oh,
Biney!
Rudy.
And the Holy of Holies.
Oh, I remember that.
Wow. The prosthetic hand.
Yeah.
Whoa.
God, this is giving us memories.
Whoa.
When the details of this case were made public, I painted my nails like this for a whole week.
Damn.
Is that just wrong?
Is it wrong that it makes me hot?
I've twisted.
That's a shame. This is a piece of history.
This belongs in a museum.
It's time for the briefing.
Oh my God, dude.
Something is off about her.
What about a tox screen?
Trace amounts of cocaine in her system and donuts.
Lol. Uncalled for, Masuka.
Maybe Brother Sam was right about our victim. Maybe he'd clean up his act.
That doesn't mean there wasn't someone out there looking to settle an old score.
What if we made some of the details of the case public, like the snakes? Might scare up a lead.
Don't be pushed into stuff, Dev. You are in control and in charge.
I think Detective Quinn has a point.
Oh, no.
We let word out about the snakes.
Oh, boy.
The press will eat it up. Who knows? Maybe something will shake loose.
Deb, you're in charge.
I think it's worth a try.
Oh.
Get started on a statement. Have it on my desk by reception.
Dude!
Oh, she's so...
Just
she's
literally
so
usurping her
different now.
authority.
Like, she's taken her...
I don't know what it is you want from me. I want to hear you tell God that you are sorry.
And then you can meet God.
Please, God. I'm sorry for everything I've ever done. Please forgive me.
Now he's gonna take your life.
Where are you going? Let me go! Let me go!
Man's got the snot going.
Yeah. You really feel how scared he is. How desperate.
I'm enjoying these interesting, like, pans they're doing this episode.
He's telling you what you want to hear. He thinks we're going to release him.
Yeah, just let him know the truth. Maybe then he'll repent for real.
How much longer do we have to make him suffer?
You really have a good heart, Travis.
First we make him suffer, John, then we make him suffer some more.
That's why I picked you. But there's much more at stake here than one man's suffering. And we have to be strong.
The cleansing of mankind.
He has to be pure, or we can't proceed.
Jesus.
We're offering God up a sacrifice or something?
He's coming around. It just takes time.
Torture this man with religion until he cracks.
Keep saying that, and one day you might be
Oh,
right.
Ronnie Cox?
Oh, my.
Dick Jones from RoboCop? We got Peter Weller last season, and now we got Dick Jones? Yes!
Walter Kenny.
I want Clarence Bodiger next season, John.
To slow you down.
Isn't he Grandpa Firefly?
No, he's Dick Jones, but you're probably right, too.
I think he's in House of Thousand Corpses. I might be wrong.
And he's also Mr. Cohagen in Total Recall.
What's a young guy like you doing around Coral Island? Or do you get off hanging out with corpses?
Lol, you have no idea.
I'm checking it out for my dad.
You want to help your dad? Take him to the end of the pier and push him off.
Hey.
If I was any more in the rough, I'd need a fucking machete.
This is like being trapped in a toxic cloud that cheats.
Hey, but does he murder?
Oh, son of a bitch!
You okay?
I felt that.
Oh, I always scream in pain when I take a swig. Don't just stand there. I need to sit down. All right.
Oh, my God, I hate it.
Injured my back 2 years ago. It hasn't been the same since.
Oh, I hate that. I feel you, buddy.
Listen, I'm done here. Just drop me off.
This is all facade, John.
I need something to kill the pain.
He said kill. He's a murderer. He said pain. He wants to torture people. This is psychology, Andrew.
What you used to do up in Oregon?
Murders.
Oh, is he taking pills with alcohol?
Yeah.
Shit job, but I managed to work up a pension. All I want to do now is play golf.
I wish we had a scene with him and Stan Liddy.
I tell you, it's hell not being able to do what you love.
Is he talking about golf or his failure to rip out Rosalio Davalos' tooth?
I always forget.
Walter Kenny may be the world's oldest asshole, but that doesn't make him a killer.
I always forget what Patrick Bateman says.
On the other hand, maybe I gave up too soon.
Instead of mergers and acquisitions, it's murders and something.
Hey, check out those buns.
For the lateral incisor, the same one the tooth fairy pulled from his victims.
Weird. Weirdo. Weird.
I was just calling to let you know your car's ready.
Great, when can I pick it up?
Well, if you get here before 6, you won't have to fight the dog off this time.
On my way.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Ugh. Ugh.
He's really admiring the grass.
Well, you know, I've got a shitload of errands to run tomorrow, and with my back the way it is, I'm going to have a real hard time on the bus. You wouldn't want to give me a ride, would you?
Perfect. Now I won't have to make an excuse to run into you again.
Huh?
Pick me up at 9.
Actually, I'd rather have my teeth pulled.
Happy to do it.
That was an interesting. You can see him in the wide shot,
So
like looking
fascinating,
up with
too.
a
Just
smile on
a
his face.
random thought that Michael C. Hall was rumored to play RoboCop, and he's literally acting alongside two famous RoboCop characters. Not RoboCops, but one RoboCop, but Dick
RoboCop
Jones.
guys.
Bless. He's been busting his ass, man. Often. Cut his ties with the gang, man. I really think he wants to change.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's how you repent, John. You work hard.
You got any plans this Sunday? Like service?
What would I be getting? Service?
Religion.
My soul.
Like a church service.
No, not much of a churchgoer.
Yeah, I figured that.
You'll never believe where I was last night, John. I was at church.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm actually being serious.
Well, Sunday's tough.
My nephew and my niece.
Oh, that's cool.
That's your boy.
The Jew was at church.
These two.
What was it, a first communion?
Well, bring him along.
It was a Christmas concert.
Oh.
Play some ball, put the grill on, have a little beach barbecue baptism.
That sounds so nice.
He's taking the big leap, praise God. He's taking the Holy Spirit on right there in the waters of the Biscayne Bay.
Sounds like you're trying to get me to go to church.
So what? Was you afraid you're gonna catch something?
I'm gonna catch religion.
Not sure I'll fit in.
Why don't you try?
I just think it'd be great for you to take a stand with someone whose life did you help turn around. And if you do happen to find God, not worse ways you can spend your day off.
Yeah, dude. I love this plot line. I love watching Mose. He's so great.
I like Brother Sam, too.
16 Blocks. Underrated remake.
Only one mention of Walter Kenny in the criminal
Never
database,
seen-
and he's identified as a victim.
Never seen Ronnie Cox as a little kid.
Walter Kenny's mother, charged with felony child abuse against her son.
Whoa!
That was
It was
cool.
a very disconcerting transition.
I was fucking great detective who loved her fucking job. I traded it all in for politics and paperwork and La Guerta up my ass. I didn't expect people sitting around waiting for me to fall on my face.
No one wants you to fail. Okay, look, Werda probably wouldn't lose any sleep if you stumbled a bit.
She bought a bottle of champagne.
But guess what? You're new at the job. You're gonna stumble.
Yeah.
You've been lieutenant one day. If a couple months go by, you still hate it, you can demote yourself. But until then, just go with your gut. And when you screw up, just don't take me down with you. I need the paycheck.
Okay. My panic needle swinging out of the red.
Good.
Aw.
How are you with the Quinn of it?
Hey.
I miss being with him.
Oh.
Really?
Quinn's a good guy. We had fun together. It was easy. No expectations. That's one decision I know I made right.
Oh, boy.
Quinn and I were never meant to get serious.
I don't know, man. You got pretty serious.
Thank you for talking me off the ledge. You're the best.
No.
It's a good time for me to ask for a raise.
Terrible.
I'm serious.
Fuck off and die.
Oh, golly. You got a kid to think about, you know?
I'm the father of your nephew. Be nice.
Maybe she shouldn't have taken the promotion. She might not be cut out for it.
I think there's very little Deb's not cut out for.
So tell her the truth.
Dude, Harry, could you pop into her head for this one?
Taken into custody for repeatedly hitting her in the face in public.
Oh.
I'm not seeing the connection.
Maybe that's how he lost his tooth.
So Walter Kenny has mother issues. Sounds familiar. Doesn't mean that he's the tooth fairy.
Yeah, but it's another reason for me to spend my day off with Mr. Sunshine.
That they blow up your ass.
My son. Gave him everything in life, and now I can't get him on the phone.
Ungrateful little shit.
You have kids? You're lucky.
Smart.
He's completely alone. Alienated everyone around him.
Here they are. I'm losing my fucking mind.
Oh, no, buddy. I feel bad for this guy. Except for, you know, the...
Abrams at 23.
Oh.
Dumb as a bag of dog shit.
All right, well.
Looks like a space just opened up for your dad.
Wow. You feel for his humanity in little fits and bursts, and then the rest of the time you're like, this guy does not seem...
Oh, he's very direct. I'll
like
give
a
him
very
that.
kind person.
He's not afraid to speak his mind.
Here's my prescription. Just pick it up for me, will you? Sure.
What's he going to do while he goes in there?
A 6-pack of beer from the liquor store.
Let's go.
Ass parade and spanked.
Parade and spank.
Hell yeah.
Gotcha.
Can this really be the man who inspired me to keep a scrapbook?
Oh, my goodness.
Man knows what he wants. I appreciate it.
What a selection.
I'll take the bus home from here.
What about your back?
Got my remedy. See ya.
See ya.
What wrong turns do you take to lead to this at the end of your life?
He's got a whole collection of spanked in there, John.
Wrong turn 7.
That's his secret.
An 8x12 storage shed, a 6-pack of beer, and a stack of
Heat haze.
Final forensics report on the snakes killing. Nothing new, but if you notice the grammar's improved, it's because Ryan typed it up.
I feel like he wants to hook up with her now. Oh, he wants to make her jealous.
Ryan Wright.
Hey,
Real
Ryan
rejects.
Wright. Let's go.
I love homicide. I've always been fascinated by people who do bad things.
Maybe that's because you got a little bad in you.
Oh my God, Quinn! Quinn!
A lot of bad in you.
Quinn!
You may be right, but you'll never know.
Oh!
Ah, get him! Get him!
Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
Mic drop.
I want to know how you're doing with the whole situation.
Oh.
They just got done packing up your stuff.
You didn't have to do that.
You know, I figured you're busy with your new job and all, might not have time. If you want to pick it up, it's in the garage, right next to the big bag of fertilizer.
Yeah, all your shit next to the big bag of shit.
You think that my becoming lieutenant had anything to do with what happened between us?
No, I'm sure it was just a big fucking coincidence.
Bro.
Quinn, that is so fucking unfair.
There seems to be a lot of that going around. I got my share. Maybe you're getting yours.
Jesus. This is rough, man. I'm so sad for them.
Yeah. Oh, let's go. Yeah, nice.
Oh, snap. And you got your hiking shoes on. You're not in too bad a sitch. Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, that was freaking disconcerting as hell. Wow.
Whoa.
God, cleanse me of all
my sins. Forgive me for all the evil that I've done. Forgive me, please.
Oh my God. You gotta start naming the stuff. Is that what they want? Where's the line here? Ugh. Ugh.
He's ready.
Ugh. Now you may murder him brutally.
Yeah, he's not telling you what you want to hear anymore. He means it.
I'm guessing he wasn't organizing his penthouse collection.
That's what he was doing.
Penthouse. Hey, emergency.
A lot of spanked magazines in there.
Yeah. Oh, Shazbot, dude. Shazbot, oh no. Does he have a little box of teeth like Dexter's slides box?
I'm worried. That's what I was thinking. Teeth.
Oh, the root on that one was gnarls,
My box of
Barkley.
slides.
Hey.
Dried blood on the roots. These are from all of his victims.
You gotta start getting little...
The man who terrorized the Pacific Northwest for 20 years, all he has left is a box of teeth.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's pretty sick.
Is this what happens to serial killers at the end of
I have something to look forward to golfing on my own.
Give me something to...
It's okay, we know there's a show coming out. What is it, Dexter Resurrection and New Blood?
Tonight, Walter Kenny will have his final tee-off.
Will it be a birdie or an eagle?
I got off at the wrong stop, and now I don't know where the hell I am. I've been riding around for hours.
Okay,
oh my.
okay. Just calm down. I'll swing by and pick you up. What's the street name and number of the bus stop?
Oh my.
321 Alaska.
Got it. Just stay where you are. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad.
He made it easy for me to vet him. Now he's making it easy for me to kill him.
He's trying to kill you.
On the road, or I'll blow your head out the window. Drive until I tell you to turn. How did you get onto me?
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're Miami Metro, Dexter.
Hey.
Your car registration when you were filling my prescription. And then I goggled your name.
Goggled?
Maybe I haven't taken a decent shit in 10 years, but I'm not fucking stupid.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Whoa! Brother Sam, you gotta work on my car again.
Yeah, right. I hope he goes to that beach barbecue, man.
Those are ready for cataloging.
I need that.
Hey, after work tonight, you want to grab some pho?
Pho? Let's do it.
It's Vietnamese food. It's basically a large bowl of noodles and broth.
Nudes.
So you're asking me out? As in a date?
Well, you don't have to call it that if you don't want to.
I want to.
Oh.
So that's a yes?
Masuka.
What?
It's just that I ran the conversation through my mind a bunch of times. It always ended in rejection and bodily harm.
And me getting fired.
You should be more confident. You know, in the right light, you're actually kind of cute.
Oh my God, that's almost a compliment.
I'm about to interview my top pick for the detective slot. I thought you might want to sit in.
Oh, no point. Sam Harmon and I go way back.
No,
I mean, it's not my top choice.
Yeah, bro.
It's Mike Anderson, the transfer from Chicago. Look, I know I'm new at this job. Sometimes I have to trust my gut. And right now, my gut is telling me Mike Anderson.
Dude.
Understand this. You're on your own. If this doesn't work out, don't look to me to have your back.
Woof.
Mike Anderson, Harrison Lieutenant.
This is the guy? All right.
It's great to meet you, Deborah Morgan.
Oh, no.
I just got off a 3-hour flight and I'm really tired, which means I'm not in the mood for an acute department razzing. Can you take me to your boss, please? Maybe score me some coffee on the way, no cream.
Damn, I hate that.
Right now, you're my top choice for this job. But that can change real fucking fast.
Yeah.
I put my ass on the line even considering you, so stow the attitude.
Let's go, Deb.
Or the only job you're going to find in the city is guarding a landfill as a robot.
Look, I apologize.
Now you get me a coffee.
It's just the other lieutenants I've served under had been around the block.
Trust me. This is just as weird for me as it is for you. Moving on. Let's talk.
Damn, dude. Expertly handled, Deborah.
Hey, that's fascinating.
God.
This is the end, Walter. You pulled your last tooth.
How did I get here?
Service entrance. I think I tweaked my back.
He actually looks annoyed by that.
I got tired of staring at a box of teeth.
Yeah.
Took me 10 minutes to kill them.
Oh.
They're 20 trying to pull the goddamn tooth.
Oh, God.
When I was in high school, it seemed you were all the country was talking about.
I knew he was going to tell him I idolized him.
Too clever for the police. They couldn't catch you. Like Burt Reynolds with his Trans Am.
Yeah, there you go.
Smokey and the Bandit.
I still can't believe you are the same man that dumped the body at a deputy sheriff's house.
Total fucking accident. I took teeth. You take blood. You're the same kind of sick fuck, aren't you?
Yeah.
At least I'm never gonna end up like you.
Oh, yeah? When you can't do this anymore, what do you have then?
Oh, yeah.
I've got religion. I've got children.
Not my future. I will not spend my final days getting drunk and staring at a box of trophies.
Keep telling yourself that.
Oh.
Make sure they know who I am. I wish I could see the look on my son's face when he finds out. He won't be able to ignore that.
Wow. Ooh.
I never want my son to know who I was.
You said you didn't have a kid.
I lied.
I also said my name was Dan. Not gonna die as the Tooth Fairy. You're gonna die as a sad old man of a heart attack.
No!
Oh, wow.
Walter Kenny's son will never know his father was a monster.
Probably better that way.
Or at least not a killer.
It's a compassionate call there. Wow.
Ooh. Cool shot. I mean, little CGI, but still cool.
Yeah, I get why they had to do it. Yeah. Cool idea, yeah. Oh, no. I don't like
she's
that.
taking it?
I don't like that.
What are you doing?
And some of us just look in the wrong place.
Yeah, I wonder what the long game is with her. If she's just like a commentary on true crime obsession, or
no,
if it's
she's
more
really
than that.
Dexter and Rudy's sister.
That would be crazy.
We'll see, Daddy.
I don't think she'd be old enough.
Nah,
we leave behind.
I was just being silly, Jonald.
I assume that everything you say is 100%.
No, most of my predictors and predictions are incorrect. I will give you a cautionary advice to not listen to me.
Walter Kenny wanted to pass on the ugliness that his life had become.
I would assume he still owns the home that he and
I wonder about that too.
Rita lived in.
It's an Airbnb now.
Yeah.
I feel like we're still a little bit before that.
But I get why he would never want to ever sleep or live there.
Yeah.
I would not want to either. Ever.
Yeah. Oh, no, dude, I hate that. Which one was that? Oh, bro.
Now he's just staring at a bunch of blood. He got sick of staring at blood, so now he's going to seek religion, John.
I don't know which slide goes where, who's who.
Oh, yeah.
There's no order anymore.
Oh, no. Oh, I have such a bad feeling about that. Oh, I don't like that. I hate that very much. What is this? Is it like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse? Oh my God! Whoa! Whoa! Holy shit! That is intense. Oh! That is one of the most unsettling things I've ever seen on this show. That is insane.
This is what you get for repenting, John.
I need. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Episode 4 of season 6 is coming up. That's not the key.
A horse
of a different color.
Do you undertake to keep God's commandments and the faith of his Son, our Lord?
Woof.
Baptize me, John.
Yeah.
Some people think that religion began as a way for primitive cultures to explain natural phenomenon.
Baptize me, Captain.
I baptize you, my brother in Christ. You are baptized with Christ in death.
You'd think science would have made religion obsolete.
My brother in Christ.
But it hasn't.
Oh boy. I kind of...
Go for a swim, come out a new man. If only I believed it were that simple.
Hey man, take Harrison for a little dunk.
But Brother Sam believes, and because of that, he's fulfilled.
I love this plotline.
He's got renewed purpose. That's how he keeps the Dark Passenger at bay.
I love watching his storyline. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it too.
I love his acting. Most doesn't show up in like a ton of stuff, but like when he does, he makes it count.
That's my son, Harrison. Can you say hi?
Ah.
Guess not.
Got John Dahl, the Rounders director.
Did you see Nick? He wanted to thank you for coming by.
Yeah, he can thank me tomorrow at the shop when I bring my car in.
Again?
You had another accident?
Bad driving karma.
Yeah. Somebody trying to tell you to slow down, brother.
Don't get me wrong, the spiritual stuff, the second chances, I think it's great for Nick.
For Nick, but not for me.
But not for you, huh? I get it. You take a dunk in the bay, you fix all your problems, it probably sound like bullshit to you.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not about the dunk. It's about surrender to something greater than yourself.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Oh, man, just look around.
Losing yourself from main character syndrome.
Gotta go. Work.
Aww.
Get the car.
Yeah, somebody got to do the driving with him.
Oh no! Hang out with him all day. I just want an episode where they just hang out. Bottle episode. Wow, yeah. Holy.
It's like, I've been to a lot of crime scenes. This one's a little different.
I like the counterpoints of this like draconian, old school brimstone and fire faith versus this very new school healing.
Some sick fuck sewed body parts to mannequins and then strapped them to horses.
Wow.
The spectacle makes me think of Brian, my brother.
Your brother, Rudy, the ice truck killer.
Sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Just the idea that someone would put this much
imagination.
brutality into killing. I want to show you something.
Tomato.
Hold on a sec.
You don't think the blonde hair girl that's into Vince Masuka is working with the religious nuts art, do you?
I wouldn't rule anything out, but
It's the same insignia that was carved into the stomach of the snake's victim. Looks like a signature.
Oh, don't let on how much you're enjoying this.
Been calling around the local stables. There's one about a mile north from here. Reported 4 horses missing 2 days ago.
4 horsemen of the apocalypse!
I've been counting the body parts and typing the blood, and it's all B positive, so I think we're looking at one victim here.
Jesus, somebody went to a lot of trouble.
He's trying to tell us something.
It's Mike! Mike Anderson?
It's the end of the world, something like that. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Doesn't take a genius to figure it out.
This is Mike Anderson from Chicago. He's my replacement. Mike, this is everyone.
Welcome to the gang.
The killer's showing us a scene from the Book of Revelation.
A killer with faith?
No, do not entertain the idea.
7 snakes. Any mention of them in the Book of Revelation?
Don't know. I'll look into it.
Do that.
I think my dad worked with this guy.
Hey.
See how to get away with murder?
Take shots of the horses so we can start taking this shit apart.
Whoever did this seems to be a member of my tribe.
Ugh, my tribe.
But this is a horse of a different color.
Yes.
Masuka confirmed that the body parts all belong to the same victim.
Grim.
Did you compare the kill wound against the snake's victim?
I did.
And?
It's a perfect match. Same signature, same kill wound.
Yeah, with the stitches.
Any ideas for a murder weapon?
Some kind of stabbing implement. Won't know for sure until we get the Emmy's measurements of the wound.
Yeesh.
What do we have here?
Oh no. Is it like a little strip of the Bible? Is it a tearing from an In-N-Out bag where they put the scripture?
4-2 again, John.
Some kind of message.
Jesus, how much does this fucker have to say?
Too much.
Apparently.
Oh, he's so excited.
Wanna bet he left one on the snake's victim too?
Dude.
Nothing behind his eyes.
What about the mouth? Or the ears?
Already checked.
What about the stomach?
No evil.
Well, what are we missing?
We're not. It's what he's missing. His intestines.
Isn't that what I said? The stomach?
Yeah, good call, Andrew. You should be a medical examiner.
No, I'm good. I don't have the stomach for it.
You can borrow that one. Damn.
Jackpot. 1237, 1242. What do you think it means?
They're years.
I've been lieutenant for less than a week, and there's already some game-playing, sick-as-fuck serial killer for me to catch.
Frankenfuck.
The serial killing involves the murder of several people in 3 or more.
Yes,
So far, a guy's only done 2.
Are you trying to make me feel better or worse?
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
Just go and buy the plain dictionary.
Like I don't know that.
You want to see me?
Yeah, this 4 horsemen case, it's all over the news. We need to address the press.
Already 2 steps ahead of you.
Oh, no.
I called the conference for this afternoon, and I'm working on the statement.
Well, Morgan's going to make the statement.
Oh, no.
Ha!
I've led hundreds of press conferences, and really, under the circumstances...
Morgan is the new face of this department, Maria.
I'm still...
The old face.
Ouch. Oh.
Why the fuck would I lead a press conference? Isn't that your thing?
Usually, yes, but I made a strategic decision to put you in the spotlight.
Oh, no.
My responsibility was catching the horse that's killing people.
You'll have to learn to multitask.
Ha.
You still haven't finished your fit for duty therapy. The shooting was over 2 weeks ago.
How am I supposed to find time to go to a therapist?
Figure it out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're a liability until you get cleared.
She's still trying to help you, and she's still not always great at letting you know that she's trying to help you.
You busy, Letter? Thought we could have our second date.
Sure. I have roller derby practice until 9, but we can totally hang after.
Hell yeah, roller derby.
You're a derby girl?
Got the bruises to prove it.
Oh.
Why don't we have our second date right now?
What are you thinking?
What?
You know, showing me the ice truck killer stuff was so cool. I just thinking maybe you could show me the Trinity stuff.
Ooh, what?
FBI has all those files, but I promise to make it up to you later.
With my files. I don't trust it.
I open the ME's report. Dying to know what it says.
She's very trustworthy, John.
Bria, I don't trust you. I'm sorry. It's not personal. You're doing a good job.
Most of you have already met Detective Mike Anderson.
There's a lot of brutal imagery here, and our killer had a lot to choose from.
I just got an ME report from the Four Horsemen, Vic.
Nope.
There were traces of oxidized iron in the kill wound, which means our killer could have used an ancient artifact.
What kind of artifact?
Not sure yet.
Some kind of old ceremonial dagger or something.
So far, our killer has given us 3 tableaus. The intestines on the scale, the snake's victim, and the 4 horsemen.
I'm sorry, tableaus?
I'm referring to a picturesque grouping of people or objects.
Of course.
Everything he's showing us has meaning, from the positioning of the bodies. Nothing's by accident.
Exactly.
He's communicating with us. Mike's just helping with the translation.
Hey.
Sharply put, Dex.
We understand each other.
Revelation 13. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a serpent rise out of the sea, having 7 heads.
Yeah, they found that guy by the water.
What about the numbers we found on the body? 1237 and 1242.
Oh, no. But I can get in touch with a Revelation expert who might be able to tell us more.
Years?
The 2 murders, they happened 5 days apart. The difference between 1237 and 1242 is 5.
Times?
He's counting up to something.
To what?
Don't know. But if all this Revelation stuff has to do with Doomsday, maybe it's to the end of the world.
We need the Avengers!
Quinn, Batista, round up any end times fanatics that might have criminal records. Let's find this Doomsday killer.
The Avengers Doomsday! We're watching this at the exact right time, Andrew.
I knew it.
There are going to be 4 different versions of this episode that we have to watch.
Of course.
We got to all watch this at the Avatar.
I
anyway,
knew
joke's done.
RDJ was going to be in this eventually.
Look around us. People are afraid. Soon, they'll start to understand what we're... Travis, are you listening to me?
Yes.
Travis, bro. Eyes on the prize.
The waitress, you've been staring at her.
Oh.
But we really have to stay focused.
Yeah, this ain't the time for hanky-panky, Colin Hanky.
I think she likes me.
Oh.
Trav, can I get you anything else?
Trav, you're in, bro.
Oh, I feel so...
She loves you.
I feel so scared for this woman, what he's going to do to her.
He's going to ask her to marry him so they can make love.
Yeah.
I thought religion was supposed to be comforting, but swarms of locusts, bowls of wrath. Why would anybody want to believe this stuff?
Love and fear in equal measure. That's the tough part.
Be honest. Professional or stupid?
You look very nice, Deb.
Stupefessional.
Is this what you would do every day before work? What do you think, Michael?
Do you want to tell me how I'm supposed to catch Doomsday if I'm spending all my time writing press statements?
Poop explosion.
Poop explosion.
If it's Jamie, you've got bigger problems.
If it's Jamie, you got bigger problems.
Yeah. Much bigger.
Oh, God. What's wrong, buddy?
Wish I could make it all better.
Yeah. If I could lay my hands on you, say a healing prayer.
I guess there are some things even daddies can't fix.
A daddy's boy.
Daddy wasn't there
to change my underwear
or take me to the fair.
So I gave you the friends and family rate.
Yes.
Dex, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, Sam sending me to computer class. Gonna build him a bomb website, yo.
Hey, you better.
Yeah. I should have taken a web design course.
You really take care of these guys.
God's taking care of all of them.
I'm scared for Nick, John.
Here you go,
I'm scared that the Edward James Olmos and Colin Hanks.
Your estimate again.
Are these your notes?
Mm-hmm. Every time I read it, I'm finding something new.
Is there a revelation about intestines?
Killer, we think he's reenacting scenes from the Book of Revelation.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
That 4 horsemen case from the news, yeah?
Oh no.
Lord have mercy. Saying this in the name of God, the devil is busy.
Bars.
But if faith makes people do such crazy bullshit, what's the point of having it?
It's human nature. You gotta believe in something.
Yeah.
I mean, haven't you ever had a problem so big that you just couldn't handle it on your own?
Yeah.
Well, who helped you?
My wife. Dad.
My dad.
He's everyone's dad.
You're lucky. You're blessed. It's a blessing. Faith, man. You put it in the wrong things.
Lead you down a dark path.
Fuck you up.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, I hope he's not involved, man. I so hope he's not involved. I'd love him so much.
Has anyone ever died from asphyxiation?
Yes.
It's a big problem.
You have now crossed the line into inappropriate brother-sister exchanges.
You are now crossing over into the Twilight Zone.
You ready for the press conference?
Yeah, I'm just
No.
practicing my statement.
Lose the speech. Just relax. Have a conversation. You're not a formal person, so a formal statement could come off as insincere.
I want to hear her cuss.
Yeah.
So you're saying I should just be myself?
Exactly.
Ugh.
I can't tell if she's...
The complexity of the stitching in the belly of that fruit vendor, the attention to detail, attaching plastic to flesh.
Yeah.
So why would the same fastidious craftsman so carelessly hack and slash?
Unless it's not the same killer.
You think one person cut up the body and another composed the crime scene?
Good.
We've got
Good
two
deduction.
killers.
Maybe we're not looking for one doomsday killer. Maybe we're looking for two.
Golly. So what is Colin hastily hacking and while Olmos assembles the...
I'm a collector, and there's a prosthetic hand for auction on buythistreasure.com. Says it's from the ice truck killer investigation. Is that real?
What? No. Oh, hang on a sec.
Shit. All right.
No, that's gotta be fake. The only people with access to our evidence room are police employees and interns.
Ooh, roller girl. Didn't she say she was a roller derby?
Damn it, Bria. Damn it. Come on.
No, definitely not.
You've been had.
Oh, shit.
1,200?
Less than 1 minute. Are you actually going to bid on it? Masuka.
No.
What's wrong?
You stole the hand from the ice truck killer evidence and sold it online? I mean, did you ever stop to think what would happen if we ever needed to go back?
I'm sorry. I was short on rent and I needed the money.
Are
so
you
I thought,
crazy?
Oh, buddy.
I mean, I could lose my job over this.
no one has to know.
Hey, you got the 1,300.
Let me make it up to you.
I'm such an idiot. Thinking you were actually into me.
I was.
Oh, was?
I am.
Really?
Get out. We're done.
Oh, Vince.
Come on, Deb, don't go into meltdown mode now.
Actually, yes, we believe that's our killer signature. So if you see something, say something. Call the department with any information that might help us catch this killer. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
Smirk.
I'm not into politics and I don't care about press conferences or public opinion. All I care about is catching the fucker that did this.
Yes. Get that fine on local telly.
Please tell me it wasn't that bad.
That was pretty bad.
Oh, Deborah, it's okay.
We'll do our best to make sure he's okay.
Oh, little guy.
That parental consent.
It's gonna be okay, right?
We'll do everything we can.
Daddy's gonna wait right.
Oh, buddy.
Maybe we'll have Brother Sam do a prayer for him and he'll be better.
I hope so.
Your car's ready.
Yeah, can I pick it up tomorrow? I'm at St. Peter's with my son.
Oh, is everything okay?
We just went into surgery. I gotta go.
Sam, get to that hospital right now.
Dude, he's such a good guy.
What? Is this yours?
No. Put that shit away. We're cops. We're on-duty cops.
So what? It's not like we're gonna hear back from dispatch today anyway.
Oh,
come
shit.
I've been smoked that shit since I was 16.
Exactly, Grandpa. Don't you want to be cool?
This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea at all.
I want this buddy.
No,
buddy funsies episode.
I do, but I just don't want them to get in trouble.
No, yeah, this is bad. This is bad, but I also. The hat on top of the car is great.
Dude, quit staring at me. Freaking me out.
It's sad. I can feel how much your heart hurts for Deb.
Oh, mine does too.
Fucking sausage.
It's terrible.
Uh-oh.
Dude, let him in.
Batista. Got it. Thanks. That was dispatch.
Uh-oh.
We got Jeremiah Allen's address.
Jeremiah who?
The guy, the dude,
The dude.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
You think we should call Astor and Cody, let them know Harrison's in surgery?
No, not yet. I don't want to worry them.
I had double hernia.
And all I care about is catching the that did this.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I had a son who was going through surgery. I probably want some backup, too, so...
Oh.
Thanks.
Brother Sam, you came in on the Omar Rivera case. Are you guys, like, friends now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, well, I have the auto shop and he...
Yep.
I'm gonna go to the cafeteria, see if anything's edible.
Hey, holding up.
Honestly, not good. I hate not knowing if he's going to be okay, not being able to protect him.
Know that feeling.
Sometimes you just gotta surrender.
Yeah, it sucks.
If I was in your situation, I would not want to hear that shit. I used to not always be like this. People used to talk to me about God, man. He used to make me want to punch him in their face.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Huh.
When I was growing up, my dad was a real popular guy. Everybody knew him.
Oh, Mo's dad.
He was always working, but I never really knew what he did.
Oh, shit.
So one day I asked him, I said, Daddy, what do you do? He looked at me and said, whatever I want, whatever I need.
Whoa.
He said he was going to see a friend of his. So we get there. He says, they're going up there and ring the doorbell for me. And before I can turn around and say, I'm with Mister, my dad is standing right there behind me with a pistol in his hand.
Whoa.
And he takes his pistol, he points it at this man, and he shoots him in the face. Blood everywhere. All on my Superman shirt. My dad just calmly picks me up, walks to the car, drives off slowly. And he says, he did a good job.
I love a monologue that makes you see it without
you.
Oh, my
No
God.
surprise I ended up in prison.
Oh, my God, dude.
We get yard time, and I'm following him. And he goes into the chapel. I sneak up on him, and I start choking him out. I'm trying to kill him.
Oh, boy. Oh.
And then I see this light.
Like figuratively or?
No, like for real. Like light, sunlight coming through these chapel windows. And I could just see everything around me. I could see where I was at and what I was doing. And I didn't want to do it no more.
Time to get out of the darkness and step into the light.
Yeah.
Dexter, all I know is that when I let that man go,
I felt free.
That never felt that good about nothing in my life.
Oh, dude. He's such a good actor. It's crazy.
He's fantastic, actually.
This monologue has been great. Like,
I don't know how this works, but if there's something I need to do in return, I'll do it.
wow. Maybe stop with the killing. Wow.
He saw the light.
Love a good moment like that, yeah.
You're going out with that woman, aren't you?
Her name is Erin. If you like, I could cancel.
No, we were given free will for a reason, Travis.
Feel free to go out and be a whore.
You can do whatever you want, as long as you're willing to accept the consequences God gives you.
Yeah, chlamydia.
It's just dinner. I'll be back home by 10.
I like the frogs in the background.
Always tries to lay him out with guilt.
Big manipulator.
And your parents, are you close?
Yes, we were. They died when I was 14.
What? Tom is still alive?
My dad's off shooting a lot of the time.
That's terrible.
My sister pretty much raised me after that.
Poor thing.
Oh, adopt him, fix him.
Before
marriage? Before marriage.
No!
You're salt,
She's
Travis!
a goner!
Travis, you're going to hell! Yeah, ew. Ew.
Damn it, John! Hate being right sometimes.
Living that life. He likes to watch. Ew. I like that they held on that too long for comfort, even though there was no comfort to begin with.
Kid's a champ. Made it through with flying colors.
Oh, thank God.
Hell yeah.
I mean, thank you.
Thank God. No, thank God. Thank you.
They're taking him up to recovery now. You can see him in a few minutes.
Hey.
Another marvel of modern science.
Yeah, you put your faith in God. I put my
Let's
faith
combine.
in science.
It's cool. We don't have to believe in the same thing, but you gotta keep open mind.
Yeah.
Have you seen the news? I've been getting calls about it all night.
I did, sir. Let me just say that I am truly deeply...
Everybody loves my new spark plug of a lieutenant.
Yay!
I told you, Dad! Told you!
Today you've made me very, very proud.
Oh.
I want to see LaGuerta's face.
Keep up the good fucking work.
All right, Matthews, I see you.
We've been speaking to this preacher, Jeremiah Allen. It turns out he's obsessed with this Revelation expert, James Geller.
From the University of Tallahassee?
Do it. That's the guy.
Oh, no.
I called the university. Geller disappeared 3 years ago after he got fired. Ask me why.
Why?
He got accused of stealing an ancient sword.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't just any Roman sword. According to medieval legend,
Valerian steel, John.
The Revelator.
Johnny Revelator.
The guy who actually wrote Revelation. Huh?
Looks like we just found our number one person of interest.
Yeah. POI.
And we did it stoned.
You knew this was going to happen.
You knew this was coming, Pete.
Let her go. I like her.
I like her.
It's the best thing for her. She's part of God's plan now.
God's plan. Yeah, Drake wants this.
Dex, at the risk of sounding like the world's worst aunt, I could really use you on this.
Yeah. Lots of blood.
I'll be there. Call me the minute he wakes up.
I will.
I love this little family community around Dexter now.
Yeah.
There's like a...
I was drawn to science out of curiosity. Any questions I had, the answers were already there.
Empirical proof.
But even science is never certain. Even the soundest of theories is subject to new data. And there are some things even science can't explain.
Yeah.
And while I don't believe in an unseen hand creating his own tableau, I do believe I don't have all the answers.
Hey, that's wise, my man.
Catch of the day.
Okay. Catch of the day, buddy.
It didn't get here on its own, so where did it come from?
What is that from? You know, man, catch of the day, buddy. Oh,
is that
my
Aaron?
God, yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Evil. Oh, my God.
Still alive. Oh, no,
This is some Saw movie shit right
Jesus.
now.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. No.
No!
No!
Kill number 3. It's official.
Serial.
He's a serial killer.
Yes.
Wait, everybody. Listen.
Like cicadas? Locusts?
From over here.
Is it a plague? 17-year locust.
Fascinating. CGI.
Wow, dude.
Locusts.
Yeah.
We're being cleansed, Jonald.
Plagues.
I'm not looking at Deborah's middle-aged professor.
Yeah.
Is this Doomsday number 2?
Yes, it is.
Well, Colin, I almost didn't notice him back there.
But that's not the look of a murderer. That's the look of a man with true faith. I've seen it before on Brother Sam. Whatever this guy believes, he knows it to be true.
Oh, boy. God, even after all that. Billy Brown, that's right. That's his name. I believe I've met that guy.
Hey.
Oh, my. Andrew.
John.
God, what a batch of episodes.
That was quite a batch. I'm enjoying season 6 so far, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen such a great dip of quality.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Enjoying.
This is the best bad TV I've ever seen.
Seriously, man.
All right, gang. Well, I'm going to throw it to us from the slight past because, full disclosure, how the sausage is made. This was originally we decided after the fact to cram this into one video like we used to do. So we're gonna start off with our thoughts on the first 2 episodes, and then we will rejoin you again after that. So you'll get all the thoughts eventually, but we're gonna hop right now into our thoughts, starting from the episodes 1 and 2 reaction, and then we're gonna move on to the 3 and 4 stuff right after that. It should be pretty intuitive. John, if you happen to be watching alongside us today and you've made it to the end of the video, if you could be so kind as to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. Go ahead and comment if you got any sort of feelings about this. Help us boost these Dexter reactions up so we can keep going all the way up to the present. Also, big thanks to the folks over at Prepper for chopping these together. These highlights are not easy to get up on YouTube, both just because the production companies are tricky to deal with, and also there's a lot of pulpy content to work around. So it is a task, and we very much appreciate them for it. Also, if you happen to be listening to this in podcast form, leave us a little bit of a rating if you could be so kind. Andrew!
John Bangering Humphreys.
Season 6, we have just begun. A new story is in the works.
Yes, it
How
is.
are we feeling? What did you think?
Liking it so far. I'm still, as you said earlier, waiting for that dip in quality. I'm not seeing it yet.
Nor.
Yeah, I can see right now the trajectory we are going. It's fascinating doing a religious theme here. And the villains, who seems are going to be Edward James Olmos and Colin Hanks, and that they're using using faith as a justification for the reasons that they are doing what they are doing, and that's okay. And when you contrast that with Dexter, who he is completely okay with doing what he does, and also too he wants to try to be a better father and believe in something for Harrison to have him grow up in a good home, and so there's an introspection there. So I think that's fascinating, and like how he's going to view religion too. So I think that makes for a fascinating storyline and just character arc for Dexter. And whereas he's taking out literally the scum of the earth.
Come on.
And whereas these guys are taking out people who they feel are sinful, and they're really bastardizing religion in a way that suits them. So I think it's a very fascinating and intriguing storyline to use religion and see the ways it can be used for good and the way it can be used for evil. So I think it's a natural way to use villains, especially with what we've gotten, because that's one thing that has not been a weakness on this show and throughout the 5 seasons. That's actually been one of the many strengths. And then when we talk about the ensemble, the supporting cast, again, natural progression as well. And I like seeing where we are with all the characters. When it comes to Matthews having to promote LaGuerta, it seems like LaGuerta, and again, she plays the game of politics. She gets her way when she has a hold on someone, whether it's blackmail or whatever, or I think it was season 2, we saw that she was sleeping around with someone she was pretending to be friends with, who was her boss. So whatever it comes to with LaGuerta, I just feel, I've said it already a few times, but I think John and I, and I'm sure many of you, we feel so strongly about our love and compassion for Angel, and he really does deserve a promotion. For him to be caught in the crosshairs in the conflict that is Matthews and LaGuerta, it really sucks, because he's really paid his dues. He's a hardworking officer, and he's a team player. And it just sucks that he's having to pay the price for their conflict. And I just feel so bad for him. But also, too, to be someone who is such a loving friend and like a family member for Deb, to be actually happy for her, even if it sucks for him. I think that's the true testament of someone who is a true friend, and to be so caring like that, and that's why
consummate professional.
Yeah, that too, and I think that's why we love him so much. Is like he's kind of like Deb in that he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he will do anything for his friends and his family. So I love characters like that, and it was really endearing as well to see Quinn be so vulnerable, especially trying to propose to Deb. I get it. She's had some bad experience when it comes to the last time she was proposed to. The guy ended up being a serial killer. I'm not saying that's why she did not accept his proposal. She didn't want things changing. That is a very thing that many of us can resonate with. So I understand where she's coming from. And then also the litmus test with, what does she have herself to compare to when it comes to her dad? And like, he's never made it this far. And then I love that the understanding she came to by the end. I just want to make my brother proud and just be the best cop or lieutenant I can be. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to measure up to the relics of the past. Just be the best you can be, and that's it. Just get 1% better than you were yesterday. So I love what they're doing with Deb so far in the season as well. She's one of my favorite characters on the show. I think her reaction was so freaking priceless when she said to Matthews, "Oh, F-balls." So that was great. But yeah, it's fascinating and great start so far. The first 2 episodes, I think quality-wise, it's right there in terms of 2 episodes. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping it stays there. But John, how are you feeling so far?
Good. Yeah, I'm so far really enjoying it. So far, continuing to just enjoy the progression that the show has been on, and we're gonna get into some sort of grander scale questions as to the run of seasons overall. But yeah, as the start of a new season, as the start of the next set of themes and circumstances, I was really pulled into this the same way I have been up until this point. I really like the new element of faith that they have introduced. This idea that, as we are setting Harrison up for school and for, the shaping of his young mind and his, means of interacting with the world and his ethical compass and all that stuff. Like, I really like this confrontation of the idea that Dexter doesn't have like a whole lot of spirituality or a whole lot of like deeply held beliefs beyond what we know about the Code of Harry. And so, I don't know, like I grew up, a few of us here, grew up in like Catholic school and with, church practices and stuff like that. And so, that's designed to appeal to me anyway, just because it's, something that's applicable to my walk of life or my experiences over time. And obviously everybody has their own journey with how faith and religion affect them and when that comes into your life, maybe when that leaves your life a little bit. And so, yeah, I really liked the school as this catalyst for him sort of being like, well, what do I believe in? And can people really change? And, is this message of redemption that, texts like the Bible preach and many other religious, doctrines preach, like, is that something that really exists or, is human nature set in stone? And so, yeah, I really appreciate that we have these potential, what seems like, the big bads of the season in Olmos and Colin Hanks, and them, doing this thing that feels very sort of biblical plague inspired, something that feels very much like it's supposed to be from Revelation. I can't remember which Bible verse, but I feel like there is a thing about like people's intestines being turned into snakes inside their bodies. And, these horrific punishments.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I really like that flavor for the big bads of the season. I like that flavor as a new, facet of, Dexter's character to consider and what that means again for Harrison and the people around him. Mm-hmm. And 2, I loved Brother Sam. Like I thought that Mose was terrific.
Agreed.
In this. And
very natural.
I like watching him as an actor, and I've seen him in stuff over the years, and I think his chops have gotten better over time. And granted, this is a bit in the past for us, but I love that plot line and the back and forth wondering, like, is this guy legit? Has he actually reinvented himself, or is this a grift? Is this some greater means of continuing on this life of wickedness? And I just loved his performance. I love how understated he was, but you could really feel the history that he brought.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I've seen things lately, things that we've watched. We recently watched the new Knives Out movie, and that has like a heavy concept of faith and sort of conversation around faith and what it means and how we apply it.
Right.
And even, in the high school reunion episode, him, with this guy from his past on the table, and he's like interrogating his sense of faith and how you can be a person of faith and commit some kind of terrible, horrific act.
Justifying it.
Yeah, that flies in the face of the thing that you believe in, and yet you can rationalize it somehow. And that whole conversation about like this guy, purports to be a believer and is giving Dexter this diatribe about what that means and why, and yet this person doesn't seem to hold any actual remorse for this incredibly wicked
Do as
act.
I say, not as I do.
Yeah, so like the reunion was wild. That was a fun device to use, and them, being out on the bayou and stuff like that in the glades, I thought was a really cool, just sort of way to further use the unique landscape of Florida, Miami, etc.
Sure.
All the stuff with Deb, very fascinating, good drama. I originally was not super psyched about the whole divorce between LaGuerta and Angel off screen, although so far where we are at the end of these 2 episodes, I do appreciate what drama we've gleaned from that so far. I really liked her and Angel, or Deb and Angel, I should say, when they have the coffee together and Deb breaks the news. Angel,
he's a real one, man.
Is a real one and is always going to be there. Is always going to back, his friends, his colleagues, the people that he's been in the trenches with, even if it's at his own personal expense. He's good at keeping that stiff upper lip, even though you can tell the stuff with LaGuerta is definitely bothering him.
Of course.
And then all this stuff with Mazuka, very fun game for him, having this whole gaggle of new interns. Shouts out to Bria Grant
she did great.
As Ryan.
Way to go, Bria.
Very wacky, funny, kind of. I'm curious to see how that develops, and I do like that he has potentially met his match in this girl who potentially is just like him. Yeah, she's she seems like she could be competent. She could know what she's doing and also be a little bit of a freak that obviously Vince needs someone to match his freak.
Yeah.
So I wonder if in these early stages they're like, Vince, you better tone it down, and then we'll come soon to find that actually she's about that life.
I'm just also worried, and you know how I like to go sometimes just make predictions. I'm really worried, just with these religious zealots, you can't do anything before marriage, and they find out and they take her. Who knows? Because I hope Vince finds someone that's for him like that. That'd be nice. I'm glad you mentioned about Brother Sam. I really liked that whole storyline because there was a lot of misdirect in there, and also Dexter had the conversation with Angel about why do you believe in God? And what is God? How do you know and all that? And
that talk too. And
he said that's not something I can't really put into words. It's just something you feel and you believe. And then to actually see that with Brother Sam, to see that he's having his faith restored and he's actually trying to build a new life, trying to recreate himself with purpose. And I think that kind of gave Dexter a better idea about trying to live a life, that's of forgiveness and not allow the guilt and the darkness to take over in that. And so
and choosing every day. I love that thing he says when he's I still got that darkness in me, and every
I'm just fighting
I choose to fight it. And I don't love having to do that, but I have to, and that's where I built my church,
Whereas Edward James Olmos and Colin Hanks, nope, we're going to use the religion to justify what we are doing. We're good with it.
Well, and I wonder if they're going to dive further into Brother Sam seems to represent, the very New Testament, very sort of you can be washed clean and reform yourself, and you can live in compassion. You can have this sort of fearless, fierce faith that, when he's, at gunpoint at the very end, he's I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid of you. If my work here is done, I am proud of what I did. But also, that's very striking, and that level of, again, faith-born confidence is very gripping to watch. And
totally, it's so fascinating. You were just mentioning Knives Out 3 too, and he was hitting a boxing bag too.
And I like that it's a trope, and I do like the sort of sort of priest figure who's grappling with their shady past, who is sort of a tailor-made example of the doctrine at work, hopefully, ideally. And then we don't know the nature of Olmos and Colin Hanks yet, but it feels like
we're gonna get it.
We are kind of getting a contrast there between the New Testament style that Brother Sam represents, which is still stern in ways, still has a lot of discipline at its core. But then you think, okay, maybe Olmos and Colin Hanks are the more fire and brimstone, the more Old Testament, the more archaic, the more draconian, and the kind of people who are looking at the current world and basically saying this is a cesspool of sin and, godlessness. We must cleanse it. We must, burn it all down and restart anew. I could imagine it being, sort of a duality of, or at least a kaleidoscope sort of ways in which we interact with faith and how it guides both our darker and lighter instincts.
Yeah, and I'm usually not the person who's going to say that I want someone who has committed the ultimate sin to be redeemed, and that is taking a life. But in this instance, it's like I think it's actually rather intriguing when it comes to Brother Sam, because he really does. You really do feel the heavy weight that he's felt, and that he feels like he was ready. It didn't feel like he was bluffing in that moment when the guy had the gun on him, and he was ready to pay for his sins if that's what it meant. Like, he really believes in this cause.
I'm trying to help this dude.
Yeah.
So I got no guilt on my conscience.
Yeah,
at least for right now,
yeah,
today.
for sure.
Yeah.
So it's an intriguing plot line and character. I hope he's going to continue to stay on the season. It seems like that would be the thing to do, but
I love him, and I had no idea he would show up in this call. And
for sure.
Yeah, he had such presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Very, very striking.
For sure.
There was something else. There's something else about him that you reminded me of, and now it's floated out of my brain.
Oh no,
so.
I Pennywised you?
Nah, you're good.
Oh,
We'll get back to it at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, very intriguing so far. And I feel for Quinn. I feel bad because Dexter is just, I don't think will ever kind of be soft towards him. We've seen it a little bit, but I always,
he knows the dude
feel
was
for
investigating.
Quinn when he's like, come on, man, just help me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and interesting drama there between him and Deb. And I feel for Deb because in a way I get why she would want to have something that is just solid, steadfast. It's not too intense, but it is loving and committed. And it's like with everything we've seen, I get why she wouldn't want to get married, even though there's so much about her and Quinn that is great, and they are very much a match in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think the nuance there was pretty good.
But he's not Lundy, John.
I know, no one is Lundy.
I know. We missed him. We missed him. R.I.P., buddy.
Yeah, man. I liked Brother Say like that. That's what it was. Like his story about how like I killed this guy, got off scot-free out of like this act of God. The judge dropped dead. Mistrial. And then I didn't even learn my lesson, and I got
possession.
And then I got hauled in for something else that like kind of gave me that final wake-up call, that last opportunity to like, hey, I laid down this miracle for you and you didn't take it, so this is your last chance. And it's very true to life. There are a lot of organizations, out here that are religiously affiliated that help, ex-cons and stuff get back on their feet. And so, I like the way that this is borrowing from real life and questions of faith and all sorts of stuff.
But a lot of real-world resonance.
Yeah. But anyhow, we got a few questions and comments and observations from our royal rejects over at the Patreon page. So without further ado, let's hop into a couple of those. Thomas Bowles, thank you for chiming in. A lot of people say that the seasons 1 through 4 are the golden era, and seasons 5 through 8 take a bit of a dive. Removing the, quote, general opinion from the equation, do you feel like the show is evolving and progressing in logical ways that keep it interesting, or do you feel like it has lost its step?
No, it has not lost its step, I think, John, and I mentioned it many times that
still waiting on it.
Season 5 took an emotional step. Not that season 4 was not emotional. Season 5... that could have been such a misfire too. With
season 5 is one of the most emotional.
No,
seasons.
For sure.
Season 4 is great, but season 5 hits in a whole other way.
Yeah, you had one of the greatest villains ever in season 4, but season 5 is just with the theme and the things that they were dealing with in season 5.
Yeah,
and with Lumen's character, like that easily could have been a misfire, but I think that was still really on a high trajectory when it comes to quality in seasons 1 through 4. And so far through 2 episodes, I'm loving what we are seeing. So I think we are naturally progressing, and I don't think there's any slight dip in any way, shape, or form. Not for me. It's my subjective opinion. But what do you feel, John?
Yeah, I would say that for me, it's the former. It's like the show is continuing to evolve and progress in interesting ways that keep it, fascinating for me.
And fresh.
Like I said, I like, last season ended a little differently because there is like a sense of closure and things have to change, mainly because Lumen gets to go out and actually have a second lease on life or a new sort of clarity and freedom. And, you know, coming back to this and Dexter being like, hey, you know, for the first time in a long time, things are going great. I'm
He's
like,
in his element.
Yeah, not to say that there aren't any lingering effects of, you know, Lumen having left, but I do like that we get a little bit, it's like a nice change of pace after a little while to have things resetting in a bit of a status quo. Dexter is in his element. It's the first couple episodes. We're back to Dexter doing his Dark Passenger thing on a bit of a regular basis. And like we've talked about already, I really like that this season now is diving into issues of faith, into, you know, the question of religion, and moreover, can people change, turn over new leaves, and, you know, how much of that, you know, effort is enough to kind of remove you from consideration to be on the table. And then just, you know, the interpersonal drama and stuff like that. As much as there were a couple things at the start where I was like, oh, I don't know about this. At least 2 episodes in, I am still really enjoying everything they've been doing. I think the, you know, dark stuff with these killers that we're following is very interesting and has, a unique sort of, again, archaic, draconian sort of biblical edge that's really neat. And I'm excited to watch as, you know, Dexter's journey as a father progresses and how they continue to use the guest stars. And so far, especially the stuff with Mose this has been very strong and gripping so far.
So far, so good. And we talked about too, we were a little bit sad, or especially for Angel, that off screen that he got divorced with LaGuerta. We also remember that happened with him, not getting divorced, but the breakup of him with the other cop in a couple seasons back as well. I was also too really sad about Sonia. I really loved the rapport, how soft-hearted she was with Harrison, and just how much easier she made Dexter's life, just with being the Dark Passenger and allowing him to do his thing, and just how much he trusted Sonia to be, you know, just a light for Harrison.
She was a really wonderful presence. I do miss her.
I'm curious to see where we're going to go with the storyline with Jamie as well, and with taking over for Sonia. So we'll have to see.
And I like her. I like her. I'm kind of wondering what the greater thing is going to be with her. Because
that's what I was kind of alluding to right now. Where's the end game going to be?
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, it was a perfectly fine scene where they're at the restaurant and Angel's like, I don't want people to think you're my girlfriend or a prostitute or whatever. And you know, it was a fine scene, and I like the actress who played Jamie. I like their chemistry together. But, you know, like, that's not enough for like a whole season's worth of a character. So I'm curious to see what becomes of her and how she develops into this story. Love a little bit of expansion on Angel's personal life. So far I'm still heavily invested, and I'm very excited for whatever's to come.
All right, Vampire Toad, thank you for being a Royal Reject, for asking us a question. We appreciate you. Are you feeling Lumen's absence? Season 5 is so impactful. I wonder how you're feeling going from the finale to the season 6 premiere. I think of this quote from that finale. Lumen said, I gave her life back, a reversal of my usual role. Well, the fact is, she gave me mine back too, and I'm not left with what she took from me, but with what she brought. Eyes that saw me, finally, for who I really am, and the certainty that nothing is set in stone, not even in darkness. She was here. She made me think for the briefest moment that I might even have a chance to be human.
Human Lumen. Oh, man. I mean, it's weird. I feel Lumen's absence in what I feel like at the moment is the appropriate way you should be feeling it, because obviously that should take a toll, that should leave some kind of lasting impact.
Of course.
But being that it's been a minute since we shot the end of season 5, not as long as everybody else had to wait, but we've taken a little bit of a breather between these 2 seasons, so I feel like we've had time to sit with the conclusion of last season.
For sure.
And at this moment, I feel like, I as much as I really loved Lumen and her story and what she did for Dexter, what Dexter did for her, like all that stuff, and I love this quote that you included, because like there is so much healing in that story, which is kind of a big contrast for this show. And yeah, I love this idea about, like being left with not what she's taking in going out to, rediscover her own life, but yeah, what she brought to me, how she saw me, how she made me feel full and like there's hope for me. I think like in a way this makes for a nice segue into what the themes of this season are supposed to be. And from a technical standpoint, it's like I'm sure they could have found things for her to do, but I feel like because of what that character's story was about, I do at this moment, and I would be happy to hear any arguments to the contrary, it feels like it only makes sense that, yeah, she should be out there living, and we don't need to kind of have her. I feel like they would run out of ideas of what to do, and so she would just kind of be around, which would be nice, but like I don't feel like it would actually serve the character in a big way. I do feel like that story has concluded, and it's beautiful to me that she gets to go out now and ostensibly just live, because that's like the greatest thing you can hope for. Like,
of course.
Rather than my enjoyment of seeing her be at Dexter's place. Like, I think it's nice that she's, it's that. It's like the absence is felt, but you feel her presence and that she's still out there. She's still alive. She's able to thrive maybe for the first time. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
She's living a life now of purpose after the what happened to her has now been vindicated thanks to her teamwork with Dexter. Of course, we feel her absence. She was such an integral part of the last season. She was such an emotional part. We were so invested in her. So as much as John, myself, and I'm sure Betty of you, although I did see a few comments saying they didn't care for Lumen, again, to each their own, but I loved her a great deal. I thought her storyline was so impactful, had so much meaning and so much weight on it. So I definitely feel it for sure. But at the same point, to John's point, really did wrap up that storyline with her character. And as much as I would love to see her waiting at home for Dexter, that might get old very fast. And unless she still felt the need to have that dark passenger and to do things with that, like if they were teaming up and doing stuff together like that, you could maybe do that. But because you wrapped up that storyline and she doesn't feel anything to do that, and then you had the line from Dexter where he says, I'll carry it for you, the dark passenger. There's really no more reason to have her on. I mean, you could always have her a guest star every once in a while, of course. She's still an important part of Dexter's life and journey, and an important, part of humanizing Dexter, as well as the many other people in his life. So I'm always open to her coming back at some point. In what role? I have no idea. I mean, we got Lundy back at some point. I'm not comparing him in terms of like importance like I would in like a Lumen. She was a little bigger of a role, but I just mean we can always have characters that come back. So I'm definitely open to that. But to answer your question, absolutely. I definitely feel her absence. I loved her so much. It was, again, one of the most emotional characters and parts of the show out of the 5 seasons, or now 6 seasons and 2 episodes in. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, indeed, Andrew. Yeah, indeed. All right, we got one from Jay Rushton.
What up, Jay?
There's some confusion as to whether or not this is for Dexter, but we're going to treat it like it is. Question, do you think the beginning was quite shocking, pun intended? Did we get any electrical gags?
What was the big? What happened at the beginning?
In the very prologue of the episode, I feel like it was that you think it's one. They did a mislead.
Oh yeah. And then he's like, "This is not what you think." He's not. Oh, right. Where Dexter, you think he's stabbed in the stomach, and then they misled you there, and then he actually stabbed the two.
And then he does the defibrillator on the 2 guys. God, that's the thing, is they pack so much into 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And like that was like a fascinating good thing to come into, into mid action, because you're like, oh damn, he's got these 2 EMTs.
We're starting the season. I thought he got stabbed somehow, and then that was a great mislead. But then it set the standard for what I thought was going to happen throughout the most of the episode. I thought we were subverting expectations, and that's why I thought maybe the jock. It's so obvious that maybe it's not.
I was curious as if
So they did a good job with that. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. Totally cool. But maybe I thought this was the first time he was taking 2 lives at once, or at least that we've seen.
Yeah.
Have we ever seen that or no?
Well, and an unorthodox MO for him because usually he's like stabbing them or something, and this time it's he's just cooking them. Like that felt the most like we're gonna do a cool opening.
That
button.
was awesome.
Some badass Dexter shit as your opening button, which I've never actually felt them going exactly for that. So it was kind of like, to your point, I do like the beginning, and yes, I see your pun now, and I do think it was a nice little jolt to start us off on, and like. We've never seen him, I don't think, do 2 guys at once. Same MO, they're a team. In the ambulance defibrillator. Very cool. And like a nice mislead. They start you off thinking like, oh, shit's gone awry. And he's doing the narration about like, sometimes nothing goes according to plan. Except psych, everything's gone according to plan today and has been for a minute.
And that look Dexter gives like, I'm so in my element right now. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so I thought they kicked off nicely. There's so much that's happened. And like I also appreciated episode 1 or 2. Everyone just being like, this has been a crazy day. There's only so much I can process in one day.
A lot of fascinating cinematography too, just from when he got into the high school reunion where everyone was literally up in his face. It was so disoriented.
Nicely
and then
shot.
also too, when you had Masuka was staring right breast, and then the camera was lingering in that POV too, but just angling it at Masuka's eyes as to what he was looking at.
So funny.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying the cinematography for sure so far in the first 2 episodes.
Absolutely. Definitely some good shocks and twists and turns in the opening here.
I will say, too, before we get in the next question, I am really sad right now and heartbroken. Who are we missing a question from right now?
Oh,
Emma! Just say it's not the same without Emma.
Not the same. We shout you out,
We miss you, Emma.
We miss you. Hope you're doing well.
We need you to send us a question.
But we do have an aftershock from Vampire Toad. You want to take that away?
Sure. Do you? Thank you, Vampire Toad, again, being a real reject and asking us a question. We appreciate you. Do you feel the humanness Dexter started to experience because of Lumen or a lack thereof? How do you think the ghost of Lumen may or may not affect the course of the season? Is he changed in some way, or is he scarred even further with her leaving, especially so soon after Rita's death? Great question.
Yeah, I think everything with Lumen, though it is sad, as we have talked about as of one of the previous questions, like it's sad that she's gone in some ways, but I do think that quote does kind of hone in on the idea of that. Not that there will be no trauma over her leaving, but there's just so much healing involved in that story, and she brought him, as he says, so much that, I mean, I think the ghost of her will linger somehow, but I also feel like, you know, she has given him an opportunity to also be more human. And I think, you know, because of things that we dealt with last season, it makes sense that he would then be more open this season to examining faith, examining deeper codes of ethics and morality and deeper both nature and faith and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm curious to see if and how they acknowledge her, but I don't think that her leaving so soon after Rita's death actually equates to, like, again, it's what he said. It's like, I don't think there's as much taken as there is left, this possibility that he could be more human. And it seems like the show has always been about him sort of confronting and considering and probing and potentially running toward his more human inclinations or growing them inside of himself. There have been moments where Harry, the mental projection of Harry, has been like, you're making decisions I never thought you could make, having motivations I never thought you could have. So I think, yeah, the human in him continues to grow and develop, and it continues to be an interesting motif to me because, you know, they still keep him uniquely Dexter, but also, yeah, uniquely, you know, hard to pin down, and his humanity is always kind of darting around in the conversation.
For sure. I think that Lumen was a very big presence in humanizing him because as much as Rita was such an important person in his life, he never could be the true Dexter, at least the dark past. He could never share that side of him. So to finally meet somebody and to share that side of him with someone, it was a very big deal in the growth and humanization of Dexter. But I think like what also humanizes Dexter is the people and the support system in his life, right? The ensemble we have, whether it's Deborah, whether it's Angel, Masuka, whomever, but also too Harry. or Harrison, excuse me. He had so many Harrys and Harrisons, but it's Harrison, like the role that he has to play in a father. And I think like using faith is going to be a fascinating angle with his father, because like giving his son something to believe in properly, like, because what do you actually believe in? Like, also, this is also a means as to like all the stuff that you do. Like, is this something you can really wash your hands of, or does this make you a monster? But I think it's going to make for a fascinating and dramatic side of the story when it comes to his character. Also, him being a father and humanizing the character just further along when it comes to evolving Dexter. But also, too, I think like a father's inclination, or the right way he should. And I'm not a father. I've just, I only know the things I've.
Dexter has 6 kids.
Nobody's told me about them, but yeah, John hunted them down and found out about it. Yes,
I came back with a necklace made of all your children's ears.
I think a parent's job, in my opinion, is to nurture and to unconditionally love, but
totally disagree, Andrew.
But also to get them ready.
100%.
But to get them ready for the world and all the craziness that is the world, right?
Yeah.
So. And if that is also too involves religion and something, and the beautiful sides of religion, of course, not more so on the Edward James Olmos and Colin Hanks side, but I think there could be a beautiful side of that if you're taking out the garbage.
Absolutely.
But I think that it's going to be fascinating to watch again how Dexter evolves even more. So I think that's one of the more things I'm always intrigued about when it comes to Dexter, is watching him evolve in the humanity side, because like just it could be something very simple, like whether he's going somewhere for his needs, like being the dark passenger and going to get the jock, going to the high school reunion. Yeah, we've seen him in social settings before, but like actually being the very popular person now.
That was a funny twist.
That was fun to watch though, and then. I like stuff like that. It's interesting. So
yeah, that was a fun ride and another fun way of just adding some flavor to Dexter's human experience, as well as the mission as to why he's actually there.
And I bet it felt good for him too, especially in the climax.
Yeah, well,
thanks to Trisha.
And I like that weird sort of like blend in, stop talking, just like let's go with this.
Yeah, And did Trisha get her phone back? I want to know that.
I know, right? I was thinking about that. And then just little stray things. I like that he's got like the whole thing about Harrison noticing he's put it in Daddy's box where the bad things go.
Kids absorb stuff.
And then he gives him his own box, which is an interesting thing because he's both passing down the specific motif, but for a different purpose, recontextualizing it as, kind of a symbol of what he hopes to kind of do with his own, compartmentalized darkness. So I thought that stuff was nice, and the constant monster story.
Yeah.
The shooting was intense, and that whole thing where Deb basically gets foisted into the position that she's in because they made that point of that one guy taking the pictures, and it's like for her to go viral is an interesting beat.
Yeah, and well, also too in the world that we live in now, everyone's got to record something, and also it justifies the means on why Matthews, besides the fact that he can't stand LaGuardia and Angel is a victim in all this, but also too, like, just from a public relations standpoint, the hero of the shooting is now going to be the lieutenant. This is going to be a good look for the department. Politics.
And I'm not excited for whatever monkey's paw that becomes. But yeah, this was really solid. I really like this. And I'm
good first 2 episodes for sure.
Yeah, continuing to really enjoy the show. Really looking forward to what's to come.
I'm loving the low quality or the dip in quality of seasons 5 and 6. Keep bringing it on.
Best dip in quality of any show I've seen thus far, because this dip just keeps going up.
Yeah, seriously.
And if it happens to start to curdle at some point, we'll be honest about that. But
yeah, of course.
I'm still waiting because
I got to lie about that.
I'm still on board and I'm still really enjoying this. So. Any stray thoughts before we hit it?
No, just great intro so far. The first 2 episodes. Excited to watch 3 and 4 and continue to progress the season along.
All right, transitioning back into the present, but still the past for you guys. Got a couple more questions here related to this batch of episodes, really, but in light of episodes 3 and 4 shooting today, we got Vampire Toad. I'll do another clap again just for the prepper team. Vampire Toad, we've already talked a good amount about this, but opinions on Brother Sam, again, since we are checking in, full disclosure, after there's some editing happening in this video, more than normal. I love Brother Sam so much, and especially, again, going into these next couple episodes, they've really given me something I've loved that I wasn't expecting them to do, because there's a lot going on, obviously, and there are a lot of themes at play this season. There's obviously this developing situation with this, what do we Doomsday. There we go.
Doomsday.
That's right, with the Doomsday killer.
Yeah,
so,
Professor Geller and
Professor Ross Geller.
Yeah, and I forget Ross Geller.
Yeah,
I understood that. I've never seen Friends, but that I did understand. And then also I can't remember frickin' Colin Hanks' name, but sorry, continue.
It's Chet. But yeah, I really love Brother Sam, and it's just a joy to watch Mose act. I'm going to call him Mose for right now because that's how he's credited in these episodes. Yassine Bey, Mose Def. I really like watching him act. And I've seen him in a lot of things over the years, and I've seen his craft grow. And like in something like this, he's just so natural and so warm. And I really believe the story. I believe in his belief in the story. His portrayal of this guy just feels so alive, and it almost takes on this therapeutic quality as a viewer to watch, because we all have our different interactions with the concept of faith, and we've all found our way to and from it at different times, and yeah, I just love his thoughtfulness, and like watching those scenes gets me. I'm engrossed in the moment because I'm loving the work, and again, he's got just this very comforting, soothing, warm presence. But then also, you could take that's a character you see, and I don't know how he's going to end up. I hope there aren't any surprises that I'm not going to be happy about. But like, this is a character who you could think of randomly in your own life and be like, yeah, I want to kind of embody just some of the righteousness that this guy seems to have cultivated, and that he seems to be actively choosing to work on every single day. So and I love his interactions with Dexter. I really love what he provides this season, because it's another instance of somebody who is capable of being some kind of friend, and he's also a good influence, and he's also not someone who needs to force his worldview on anybody. So he's really trying to do
good point.
Yeah, he's really living, I like the contrast between him and the Doomsday guys. Granted, we've spent a lot more time with him, but it is the new school faith, the newer Testament concepts, this idea that like any moment, any time, you could drop all of your wickedness and decide to surrender to the greater faculties of the universe. And their conversations about science versus faith, and the dancing around, Dexter being pretty clear about like, I'm not a religious person, I don't believe in God or anything like that, but like their friendship that has come out of that is really sweet. And them going to the baptism I thought was really sweet, and the way that he can learn about faithfulness and what someone who is really committed to that might be like, or how they might approach something, the nature of faith. That's a cool both thematic counterpoint just for us to behold, but it's also a nice thing, kind of to help Dexter on the journey of unraveling this case. And so he's one of my favorite characters in the whole show, I gotta say.
Yeah, and he's only been on for a few episodes, so that's pretty impactful, and I would agree with you. He's great. I think something you just said, and is how everything you said is I agree with, but something you just said really sticks out to me. He doesn't force his opinion about religion on others, especially with Dexter. And I've met people who are very religious that really are in that position to force that upon you, which... Again, there's no judgment on me, even when people are in that position to do that. I just prefer it where you are not in a position to force others. You got to allow people to come to that conclusion. You can give your argument in your case, and you can allow people to come to that conclusion on their own. And that's what I appreciate about Brother Sam, is he came to that conclusion on his own when he literally, in his own words, he said that he was literally about to choke out somebody in the prison or in the gym or wherever he said it was, and then the chapel of the prison, and the light came onto him, and he under
such a great
that was
I got truly wrapped up in that. I forgot we were here for a minute while he was telling the story about his dad and about the prison.
And also his acting in that moment, that monologue, like that is not easy to do. I've attempted to do monologues in my time as an actor. It's very difficult, and to get wrapped up in a story like that was really powerful to watch him be vulnerable like that and to tell that story.
And to make us see it.
Yeah, no,
Like, I love
that's
when you
the thing too. I've always said before, and I will continue to always say this, I usually prefer show, not tell, but when it's done in a tell, not show type of way, and it can be very effective, and those are the type of ways it can be very effective.
I adored the choice of that scene to keep the whole thing. And they kept a lot of it actually in Dexter's reaction shots.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, him delivering that monologue and them letting, like, you know, I'm always impressed. Like, it's your job as an actor. So, you know, on the one hand, it's not that huge of a deal. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I'd like to really learn that monologue and to really, you know, you could tell that he's seeing those images and he's feeling those memories. And yeah, the way that they allowed that to play out just as this intimate talk between these two guys. Everyone's cleared the waiting room, or at least our, you know, familiar characters have cleared. And yeah, you know, they get to have this heart to heart and this sharing of experience, and this also contrast of, you know, what their experiences were like with their fathers.
I was about to say that, yeah. And also, Brother Sam, he set that up earlier in the scene earlier in the episode when he said to Dexter, you were very blessed to have a father that was so good to you, and just a lot of people don't have that. He was also talking about himself too. Like, he's unfortunately, he had a father that kind of used him and put him in a position where, you know, he was going to live a rough life and had to take himself out of that darkness. He didn't have a Harry in his life to nurture him and to be a positive light for him in that type of way. So the fact that he was able to get himself out of that darkness, even though he still fights it every day, I think that's just so inspiring and so beautiful to hear. And I love characters like that who can go out of the depths of the darkness on their own, even though it's so important to have supportive groups around you. But he inspires that into others as well. But he came out of that darkness on his own, and I think there's just something so cathartic, something so beautiful in that. Mm-hmm. But also he believes in something, and he truly grasps onto that. Whereas Professor Geller and Colin Hanks' character, he's got a terrible mentor in Professor Geller who completely just manipulates him at every being, but also they hide behind religion and they use it and they bastardize it for their own nefarious purposes. They also believe in it. I truly do believe that they do believe in it, but they also use it for very nefarious and ulterior and evil things. So, well, they have, I think they touch on it at some point in these episodes, the idea that, I can't remember exactly what the line was, but, the Bible, the New Testament, the Old Testament, there's a lot of love and fear. There's the idea of you fear God and you also love God, and this, I think, is also a nice kind of discussion about that because, again, this season is largely dealing with faith and what faith compels people to do. And with Brother Sam, you have somebody who is interpreting and trying to walk the faith through the scope of love. It's always about acceptance. It's always about creating a better path, choosing the better choice. And, being able to, again, walk away from your wickedness at any moment. Whereas what, Geller and Chet Hanks are doing right now, what they're doing right now is all fear-based, is all, scourge, is all brimstone. And it's interesting, too, because, there are... Brother Sam, in his flock, and even he himself would be the first to admit, hey, I'm not perfect. I sin. I make mistakes. And thus, the hypocrisy factor also changes because you're aware that that's human nature and that's in the conversation between, you, just the individual, and the divine. There is that kind of Christianity often calls you to be yes, I am a sinner, and that's just a fact of nature, and I'm never going to not be, and you do your best, like he says, to kind of just choose every day to try and, mitigate that. And on the flip side, it's
it's like, yeah, you can live every day and be like, yeah, I'm going to make mistakes, I'm going to sin, but my motivation and my efforts are going to go to putting love out there and to trying to walk the walk. Whereas, yeah, on the opposite side, you have Geller and Colin Hanks, and like Colin Hanks, you know, he totally slept with that girl, and he still gets to kind of be, and she winds up the victim of this horrible. The kills this season, the Doomsday,
the four
tableaus,
horsemen, the intestines, the saw trap.
They're so striking, and that broke my heart. I was hoping they might be able to stop that from happening, but it was such a gripping and harsh fate for her, and also kind of twistedly beautiful in its, you know, grim artistry. And it's like, it's weird because you know that Olmos is manipulating and is abusing Colin Hanks in the way that he approaches him, and he's, you know, kind of crushing his enthusiasms, his brighter instincts. You know, he just wants to have this connection with this girl, or, you know, he's got that other, like his sister. Whoever that was. And yeah, he's, you know, kind of constricting this kid, ostensibly, it's how it appears, into this. I mean, he must have some level of fundamental belief to be there at all. But, you know, the idea, it's like the embracing of the slipping up and the transgressions or whatever makes so much more sense in Brother Sam's flock, whereas over here with Geller, it's like, I'm surprised. I wonder if Hanks at some point is going to get thrown into this because he's not living the righteous life to the degree that Olmos is, I don't think. So, you know, I'm very fascinated about
I was thinking about that too. It would be interesting too to see an interaction between Brother Sam and Chet as well. Like, I really wish he was part of his flock. Just to, I mean, I think we're at the point of no redemption either way for Chet.
I don't know about that.
With what has happened with all the people he has taken from life. So, but it would have been nice that if he didn't get into the wrong flock. But unfortunately, like, unfortunate shit happens in life, so I'm sorry that happened, but I think Dexter's gonna have to, now that Dexter's also locked in on him at the end of the episode, he's targeted for Dexteration, so we shall see what happens. But yeah, just going back to the original part of the question from Vampire Toad, I do agree with John. So far through 4 episodes, he's one of the most effective characters that we've seen in terms of just how he makes you feel and the words he says. And I really like the way they're utilizing the character so much. And the effect that he's having, the prolonged effect he's already having on Dexter is really incredible so far, especially with the heavy themes that they're already going throughout the season, and what he's dealing with his son, and giving his son something to believe in as well. It's fascinating so far. I like where they're going with this character, and I hope we're not going to a tragic ending because I really adore this character. But
here, let's read Jay Skull, because I we can close out our thoughts and because you brought that up. Jay Skull, this and season 7 are the ones I've been waiting for y'all to get to, and I'm happy to hear that. Maybe season 8 is the only one we have to be worried about. There's a very interesting parallel that eventually reveals itself toward the end. Brother Sam, I imagine there has to be. Brother Sam, Mos Def, played such a good character in this season. What do you think of his character, and where do you see his story arc ending up?
Well, we've already answered what we think of his character, so we're not going to get into fully that again. But
loving the character.
What we think about, where do I think his story arc ends up? I'm so bad with these type of predictions. I'm usually just good at, do I think he's going to get killed and all that? I hope it doesn't end in tragedy for him, because he's really done such he's had such a tough life, and he's such a victim of nurture with his father and all that, and what he's had to build up, and the inspiration he's built up with his flock, and just the deep care and impact he's had on the people around him, and Dexter himself. And I truly love their interactions. I have not, and I doubt John has too, have not looked up how many episodes he's in. I don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
So I'm hoping he gets to stay on the show. I think he's just such a wonderful addition.
I don't expect anybody. I have no expectations for this show that any prominent guest stars will appear beyond the season that they're in, though I always hope for the possibility that we could see them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times shows, like, they get you heavily invested in characters, and they're like, sorry.
Like you saying here, he played such a good character in this season. Like, some people might go like, "Oh, that must imply he's not in season 7." Spoilers, but I'm like, I don't really expect that anyway. Although it would be.
Well, it could also be.
That's not even necessarily what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
and it could also be he played a good character in this season, and he's gonna play a good character next season too.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
I could imagine. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of long game in the fact that he is such a prominent counterpoint to the conversation of spirituality and faith and religion and all that stuff that this season is having. And I really like, again, the science versus faith conversation that he and Dexter has, and the way in which he is clearly a guy for whom the spirituality it's his life, and yet he is not overbearing, and he is like a guy who is clearly all about this, but who you would really want to hang out with, and I hope, I guess what I would imagine could happen is I wonder if something will push him, or he'll wind up in a situation that causes him to maybe relapse or to get a little too close to the old darkness. And I wonder if there will be any sort of discovery or maybe mercy for the fact that, like, I don't know, maybe he's going to slip up somehow, do something bad, and then, we will grant him mercy. I would hope that it's something he could be granted mercy from by the end of the season versus, that Olmos and Colin Hanks aren't going to be redeemable unless maybe there's some weird reason to let Hanks go because maybe he's, a victim in all this too.
Can I ask you a question? So I said there's a possibility Nick could get killed by them. So if that ends up happening, and I know your favorite Batman film is, and I know your favorite Batman film is Batman Forever, and there's the line in that movie that 2 against 2 are better odds. Yeah. Do you think there's a possibility that he wants to go dark passenger mode on these two when Dexter is figured out, because he was already clocked in on Colin Hanks' character, and now he knows about Geller, so that those two could wind up going 2-on-2? I have no idea. I mean, there's a possibility, right? If that happens, because he's so close with Nick when it comes to Brother Sam. And
you mean like if something happens to Nick?
If something happens to Nick,
Dexter and Brother Sam kind of finds his way to.
Yeah, but not only something happens to Sam, but it's Geller and Colin Hanks possibly that did it, or just something in general happens. Sure. But like that's a way of him slipping up off the deep end, possibly.
I mean that. The fruit stand guy was like a guy who had gotten his life back together, right? Was that part of his backstory? And they killed him anyway. So they seem to be going after people with checkered pasts at least, or transgressions in their pasts. So maybe
it's a possibility.
I'm worried because I like this guy so much.
Yes, of course.
I think it would be very cool. Like from this vantage point, I would be kind of upset if it turns out that Brother Sam is actually a villain of some kind. I'm not opposed to the complexity.
Yeah.
Where I'm sitting here, I think it would be really nice to have a character like this who just gets to be this character and who gets to live on and keep on doing their thing.
I'm with you on that.
I hope he makes it through the season, even if we don't see him again.
Sure.
Because I really buy him and he really seems genuine. And I know this show will throw me something I'm not expecting. So I am here for that, and I'm willing to entertain anything they do, because so far I still feel like the quality of the writing has been great. I've been really engaged, and I've been really into just what's been going on here. Also, too, just some stray thoughts. Really love what's been going on with Deb. It's been harsh, but her kind of ascension of the ladder into this position as lieutenant and embracing that, and learning to grapple with the politics, all the stuff, picking the new detective, the back and forth with LaGuerta, and making the statement on TV. I thought that was coming, and I like that for her, and I feel like that's a reasonable. While it's, kind of a fun subversion of expectations, it's a nice relief. It also makes sense. I'm like, I bet people probably would want a, no bullshit, no nonsense person in charge. And so, that was really cool. It's fun to see Angel and Quinn
getting their Cheech and Chong on.
Yeah, it was very fun. There's a lot of, interesting. And two, Masuka, I feel so bad for him,
I know, being used like that. Well, she had to pay her rent, if that's real, all that was. And but still, I felt bad for him too.
And it's funny. I feel like I've seen a Saw movie that borrows from this directly now that I think it's Jigsaw, the Spierig Brothers one that they made.
You spoiled it, John. I was going to watch that one tonight.
Spoilers for Jigsaw. Well,
I'm just kidding. You're
it's
good.
not
I'm not going to ever watch them. You're good.
There's a plot thread, I think, in that movie that involves a medical examiner's assistant who's really obsessed with the Jigsaw killings and like has a bunch of auctioned memorabilia or something like that. So not quite the same thing as like stealing the evidence, although that might have factored in the plot too. So I wonder if they saw that. But yeah, her taking the hand and auctioning it off, and I'm very curious as to what that's about too. Like, I like it as the idea that it's just this quirky sort of Masuka's met his match kind of things.
Yeah.
Or if there's a bigger game at play, maybe she's friggin' Colin Hanks' sister or something. I don't know. Or maybe there's just something else happening there that we don't quite understand yet. But, I feel like, we've lived through the rise of true crime obsession in popular culture, certainly. And it's always been there. But, certainly in the last decade or two, it has popped off as its own stream of entertainment. And so I can imagine that character being some level of commentary about that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And just really quickly talking about Deb, seeing her transition into the lieutenant now. I mean, there's a lot of different things she's dealing with. It's just a new position, which, if anyone knows anything, when it comes to just dealing with a new job title, is just chaotic, just in general in itself. Something, there's a lot of pressure there and a lot of stress. So, and just watching her do that. And then also, too, you got the dynamic between her and LaGuardia is very fascinating, because there's times like, I want to buy and believe she's being genuine, but we know that this is not really who she wanted in this position. But like, there's times where you think she is, and then like, no, she's being manipulative and lying right now. And she set her up on a tee right now to be herself on TV.
Yeah.
So that she would cuss and hopefully get in trouble and maybe be fired. And like, LaGuardia. Like, every time I open the door to welcome you back into the good person's club, you just slap me in the face.
Yeah.
So such a fascinating character.
They really turn the knob back and forth with her on like being very relatable and a character you really feel for, and then back to like, oh golly, like where I can't tell what part of you is real or not.
And I understand. I like perspective. I understand a lot of times where she's coming from. But Deb has always been, for the most part, has always been so sweet and kind and endearing and compassionate and nice to her. That's where I get so frustrated with her, like how she behaves towards Deb.
Yeah, 100%.
So it really, and then the dynamic between her and Quinn is really heartbreaking too, in that it is unfortunately coincidental that she got this promotion at the exact same time that he proposed to her. So, when it comes to the timing and all that. So I'm curious to see what the resolve is going to be relationship-wise between them.
Oh, Travis. Sorry.
We kept saying Chet. You mean because we kept saying Chet?
Yeah, I forgot he has a name.
It's all good. I didn't remember it either to correct you, so it's clear.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, you could also see too that clearly, and it was obvious anyways, we didn't need to see it, but we knew that he's in a position where he's feeling very heartbroken and he's feeling very hurt.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make Deb extremely jealous. He was trying to hit on the intern. And when he was hooking up with some woman when he showed up at a crime scene, when he showed up in a Mustang or whatever car he was in, and also when he was in bed with another woman, he literally had a deadpan face so that he feels nothing. He completely misses Deb. So
yeah,
anxious to see where we go with that storyline. I'm also seeing the date right here that I had no idea these sets of episodes came out in 2011. So they were talking about the Mayan calendar and all that. So I didn't know this came out so close to 2012. So that's a fascinating angle and aspect on it as well. And also, too, just going back to a little bit about what Brother Sam was talking about with Dexter about believing in something bigger than themselves. I thought that was such a fascinating conversation, too, about how, once again, he doesn't force any his beliefs on Dexter, but he's just redirecting the conversation to him, saying, "Oh, so you do believe in something bigger than yourself. You know, when it comes to the axis, the Earth rotating on itself and the axis and all that. So I love the reframe and the redirect like that. So it's just, hey, we're just having a conversation right now, and I love when people can have those types of conversations with others. So that type of interaction is always genuine and very fascinating to me.
Well, and he seems to enjoy the conversation too. Like he seems to enjoy having somebody to bat these ideas back and forth with, and to, you know, do a little bit of, you know, good-natured, good-spirited debate about, I think is a nice, again, it's just a flavor of the character. Yeah. Like he really, again, embodies all these different feelings and vibes and stuff like that. And I'm fascinated to see where this goes. And it's also because he's been given so much screen time too. And I feel like it makes sense because through him, you can still discuss the matters of faith and, you know, conviction and all that stuff, while being also then able to leave Geller and Travis more in the shadows, used more sparingly, so that we can still explore those themes without having to cut to them a bunch and demystify them too soon.
What do you think creates all this? You know, I'm just asking you questions. I'm not forcing you to believe in all this, but that was great having Ronnie Cox in there. And I know I mentioned it 10,000 times, and there were some comments about, I don't think Andrew mentioned RoboCop enough. Well, I can never mention RoboCop enough. I don't care if you guys give me crap about it. RoboCop's one of the greatest social satires in the history. It's one of the greatest sci-fi films ever. I will never not talk about that film 10,000 times over. So the fact that we are getting actors from that movie just warms my heart so much.
Yeah.
But that was a fascinating addition, and also for the fact that it's kind of symbolic too for Dexter, seeing someone that is a serial killer that is now in old age, and he's so alone he doesn't talk with his child anymore. But the difference being is, like, he killed out of ruthlessness and was a very vindictive and evil human being, right?
He seemed like life was always ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Dexter, like, he takes out the trash, and he was born out of blood, and we know
it's that thing where, like, everyone has a rationality for it.
And I get that.
And like that debate when he's got him in the chair, I guess. You know, it was fascinating because of that, because of this whole, like, this is what you have to look forward to. Look at me, you're going to be just as sad and bitter as I am, and then you realize, like, well, that's part of the interesting thing about the whole question about Dexter is, like, is this the most benevolent version of what this could be, or is this a road to ultimately becoming bitter, alone, and, you know,
but I was also going to
your soul completely marred.
But I was also going to say, like, introspective wise, we also know too that I don't know all the dynamics with, besides the fact that he said he doesn't talk to his son anymore and he's just been here in this retirement home, but also the fact that we know that Dexter's support system really humanizes him, and he's learned so much over the years. And, like, I think that's what sets him apart from a cold, ruthless murderer, like a Ronnie Cox type of character.
Sure. No, 100%. That's what that contrast, that's what that's here to show. You know, because it's natural for him to wonder, like, would I wind up being this guy? And then, you know,
look at the compassion on Dexter. I'm not going to allow your son to know you are a monster. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
and that was a crazy call too. Like, you know, and that was in the moment, like, oh yeah, you're not going to get the glory. Like, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction in your dying moment to know that you will be immortalized or infamous, or you'll get one more. And two, you know, in that moment, there's a lot of ways you can kind of feel that decision happening, and it hit me. I'm like, of course, because he's a dad now. And I'm sure you still don't want, you know, Harrison to know about this side of you, you know. In a way, it's he's taking mercy on the son and making it truly punishing the father. And like, great performance by Ronnie Cox. I guess he wasn't in House of Thousand Corpses, but obviously in everything that you mentioned, and I've seen him in a bunch of other stuff too.
He's a great actor, and I believe he's a country singer too, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he in, like, maybe he's in The Devil's I don't know. Are you talking
about Billy Brown or Ronnie?
Ronnie Cox, yeah.
I believe he's a country. He does some kind of I know he's a singer.
But Billy Brown was on How to Get Away with Murder, which my pops worked on back in the day.
Deep Blue Sea. He was literally in one scene. I'm like, Why is Ronnie Cox in one scene and you have no dialogue from him?
Oh, and he was on The Practice. Maybe my dad worked with Ronnie Cox back in the day.
And Men in Black, the series.
It's possible. You never know. You never know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was in Captain America, the 1990 movie. He was Mr. President. He was the president, I mean.
Oh, hey.
Thanks, Mr. President.
Thanks, Mr. President. Oh, goodness. Deliverance. I didn't see that either.
Yeah, but this was, I haven't seen it. I just know that line. But yeah, no, really good string of 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I said it at the top of this review. This is seriously some of the best type of low quality TV I've really been enjoying. I think it's still there for seasons 5 and 6 so far through 4 episodes. So I'm anxious to see where we continue to go storyline wise, but I'm hooked so far through season 6.
Yeah,
but I love Brother Sam. I love where we're going in terms of the faith crisis when it comes to Dexter, and just seeing the contrast between Brother Sam, his interactions with Dexter when it comes to faith and science, when it comes to the contrast between Brother Sam and when it comes to Professor Geller, and seeing how they use faith for their own nefarious needs, or rather for self-healing and inspiring others. I mean, and
how
also
they use faith for their own nefarious deeds, but also
hiding
for
behind
a greater good that they seem to a greater purpose
that they believe
to
in.
them,
Yeah.
greater good to them, that they seem incredibly convicted. That's the whole thing at the end where he's like, that is belief right there.
Yeah,
you know?
and then also to Deborah's storyline as lieutenant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things, and then also Angel and Masu. There's so much stuff that I'm really invested in this season. So
yeah, and I like the way they introduced what's his name, Mike Anderson.
From Chicago.
From Chicago. I like the way they introduce him because they're good at, like, Quinn was this way too. I remember when they brought him in after Dokes.
Surprise,
motherfucker. Yeah, they are good at giving these traits in what feels like kind of a realistic way, where you're like, uh-oh, are we about to have a problem with this person? Oh, no, it's just, our vibes are maybe a little off, and like, I can't tell, is this guy condescending to me because I'm a woman lieutenant, or is it just because I'm green and it's my first day and he probably knows that? It didn't seem like he quite knew what was going on when he showed up. But yeah, like at first you're like, oh God, is this guy gonna be like a sexist, condescending, like old school kind of cop? And even him giving her the tip on like how to dress, like walks that line between like, this could be good advice and it seems like it kind of helped, but also you're like, is this because you have like a traditional way you think that women should dress in the workplace or in general at all? And stuff like that ties into morality that can come out of religion. So like, I think there's potential for some interesting stuff happening with him there. And two, just it's fun to see Deb in a position where she seems like a character who wants people to talk real to her. And so as much as that gets off on what seems like a bad foot, she's able to step up, lay down the law, and then he does adjust his tune a little bit. And clearly he's not fit in fully yet. And clearly he's not, within the flow of things. And there's still, some pushback, or there's still we don't know quite all of what our eye lines are with him yet, but he does again seem convincingly like a real guy, and like this could be a good decision. I can see how this might have backfired. Like the second he shows up, you're like, oh no, LaGuerta was right, and then a few minutes later you're like, oh no, maybe this is actually a good call. Like we'll see. But yeah, good for Deb.
And
standing up for herself.
also too, I know we give Matthews a lot of shit, which we don't, not crazy about the character overall, but that was an awesome moment between him and Deb when he cussed.
He's rarely, it's like broken clock theory. It's like most of the time you're not really happy to see him, but it is you do feel that dopamine hit when he's like, good fucking job.
Yeah, that was awesome. I actually really enjoyed that moment. So
yeah, absolutely. All good shit.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this, man.
Yeah, me too, guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos so we can continue to keep reacting to them. We really want to. John and I are obsessed with doing this show.
Absolutely do. So, guys, be well. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. I believe we'll be back to 2 episodes next week and beyond. But you'll know either way, however many are coming out at a time. But I'm glad to be back for a thick boy to start off season 6. Oh my God, Emma! We have you just at the end of the shoot. Hey. We literally cut the camera, and then your question came in, so we thought we cannot leave this place without talking to you. Thank you for chiming in.
I was literally driving down the road and John said, get back here.
Yeah.
It's Emma. I said, I'm coming back.
Andrew just drove through the front door.
Yep.
We got to get that whole thing fixed.
I took my Ford
Andrew's car's
Escape.
totaled.
My Ford Escape. Brother Sam's going to fix my car.
Take it to Brother Sam's. All right. Emma has this to say. Hey, guys. Hope you're having a great day. It's better now. Thank you, Emma. What are you guys thinking about the religious aspect this season? I really like these crime scenes because they're set up so meticulously like pieces of art, as dark as it is to say. I totally agree. I think they did a great job setting it up in the show, prop and cinematography wise. It's a pretty common trope in some shows to have a religious killer or religious psychosis based around the 10 plagues or the apocalypse, and I find it interesting how each show decides to do it. My favorite being Supernatural. Big love for Supernatural. It's worth it.
Hey.
The season doesn't get talked about as much as the others, but I really liked the theme of this one.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Emma, so much. It's not the same doing a review without you, but we touched upon it a little bit. I really do like everything you're saying, and I like the contrast in regards to seeing just the differences between Brother Sam and also with Professor Geller and also Travis. I think I remember his name this time. Travie. And yeah, John made a great point too in that, yes, they do hide behind religion in justifying what they are doing, but also they actually really believe in what they are doing as well. That's how they justify what they do. And you could see that with Travis's look when Dexter locked him down at the end of the episode when all the locusts were being, and you could see his face. He believes in what he's doing. It's the power of belief and the power of what he's doing. He's everything that Professor Keller rather is telling him and teaching him in regards to the Old Testament. Like, this is his faith now, and it doesn't matter who is in their way. Like, the world will be cleansed in their minds. So I think it's a fascinating thing when it is done and executed the proper way. And it's all about perspective when it comes to me. For understanding villains or evil beings, I'm never going to agree with them, but I just want to understand what their thought process is like. And so far, I'm understanding their perspective. It's sinister and twisted, but I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most unsettling and kind of difficult things to rectify in life is conviction. It's like there are people out there who believe fiercely, things that you might agree with, and also things that are completely counter to what you might believe or agree with. And yeah, this idea, I like what Brother Sam says. It's like no matter what they're doing, guys like this, they're like these, horrific, biblically themed murders and stuff like that. Like that idea that these guys definitely believe. These guys are believers, and no matter how, evil their actions may be or how twisted that belief, like the faith itself is true, and the giving up of yourself to that greater purpose is something that brings a lot of meaning to people and compels people to do extraordinary things and awful things, as we see here in both measures. And so, yeah, I really like the whole thing. And when Dexter is in that desperate moment, he's worried about Harrison. He says a prayer just for the heck of it, just for the desperate moment when all the other stuff is failing.
Thank you, God.
And yeah, it's like you're leaving your kid in the hands of science, but also what are you to do, the person who's just left out here to wait and hope and, wonder as a Schrodinger situation takes place beyond the wall that you can't, control. Yeah. And like I love, as you said, it is so striking what the crime scenes have been, and yet they are... Yeah, it's completely twisted works of art. They're harsh and horrific, but they are like conceptually very striking.
Yeah, curious what the fourth one's gonna look like.
Yeah, like very. The first one obviously is the most like kind of icky and the most lo-fi, low key. But each one since then, the horses was wild, and yeah, the horsemen of the apocalypse, all that stuff. We've lived through a number of like rapture scenarios and supposed end times and things like that. So I'm curious as to how that's going to continue peppering the season. But yeah, religious psychosis is a fascinating thing, and there's a certain level of that could even be, it's like the delusion of benevolent, sort of foundations can be useful even if it's not quite true or real, but it can also be incredibly destructive and the cause of heinous acts, as we are seeing here. So yeah, I mean, so far, again, this has continued the trajectory of like finding ways to respond to what has come before, whilst also opening new and interesting boxes and mirrors that we can hold up to Dexter, and themes that we can explore from multiple angles with, what we have here to work with on the show, both the darkness and, the sort of uncharted territory of humanity and the Dark Passenger and stuff like that, but also, the people working to, bring folks to justice and do the good in the world, and where people's faith and ideologies tie into that is always an interesting thing, where people are willing to skim a little or turn a blind eye or whatever it might be. So yeah, I think this is a really cool next wrinkle for them to explore. Emma goes on to ask, follow-up question, do you have any opinions on the new detective that's replacing Deb, and do you think Deb will be able to handle being the new lieutenant? We've talked about this some as well.
Yeah,
but,
we talked about Mike Anderson as well. He's a fascinating, from Chicago. He's a fascinating new character. I also didn't mention there's quite an interesting contrast too with some of the advice that, for instance, like LaGuarta is giving versus like Mike is giving too. Like, she's LaGuarta. We know that she's kind of manipulating and just like, cause she's looking for a reason to have Deb get fired, versus it seems maybe I'm misinterpreting, but it seems like Mike Anderson is kind of possibly looking out for her when he was giving her advice, like maybe watch out on the language. But
I don't think she wants Deb to get fired. I think she wants Deb to be something that she can take credit for, and someone who she can use to kind of bolster her own pursuits.
Wow, we'll see what happens in regards to that.
Because she's been promoted. Like she's on a better ground.
It's whether it's being fired or at least makes Matthews look bad for promoting her, whatever the case may be, or it could be gives her credit. There's all different types of facets that whatever makes LaGuarta look good. I feel like that's 100%. I think that's the end game always, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
when you're dealing with LaGuarta, the status one we are trying to appease or grow or attain some kind of positive outcome for is LaGuarta first and foremost.
I think in regards to, do I think Deb will be able to handle being the new lieutenant? I think like Deb is one of the most resilient characters I've ever seen. Yeah. Just in regards to on a TV show or just in like movies or TV. So there's no doubt I could see that. She's also, we've talked about this many, many times. Yeah, she wears her heart on her sleeve. She can be volatile at times in terms of just like letting things out and being very direct. But I could see her doing the job, no doubt. I just want her to recreate herself, to be herself. And I think that's where she excels, when she is herself and she's not worrying about other people judging her or doing or perceiving her in a certain way. I just want Deb.
Judge me.
Yeah, I just want Deb to be Deb and not worry about others. Yeah, she's got to play the political game at times now because she's in that position, of course. But I want Deb to be herself at the end of the day, and I think like she's gotten so far in life being Deb, like being strong and resilient and having to fend for herself. Like she didn't have Harry to look out for her most of her, because Harry was tending to death.
Has hands full.
Yeah, yes, and understandable. I get that. But also she does have Dex to lean on too as well. She's got and also Angel and Masuka, I guess, as well, even though he's probably looking at other parts of her body, even though Masuka does care about her. But the point being, she's got a nice support system around her, and I think she can handle it. She is a very resilient human being, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Deb, the question is this the right fit for Deb? Like, there's a lot of me that's like, I agree. I think she's
upon it, so she doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are about, like, can I step down from this, just go back to my old job or whatever it is. But, it doesn't seem like the exact right place for her to be necessarily, given that she is so good at being a detective out on the street. in the field.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was really fun to see the early growing pains in her rising to that occasion. And I feel like there is some unique stuff that she might be able to get done and or, grow into with this new development. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be a lot to deal with, and there's going to be a lot of bullshit that she's probably going to be very frustrated that she has to deal with. But also, it's proven now by these episodes that her ability to cut through bullshit can be a positive. I wonder if we will see it at some point become a negative. I feel like we're on the start of a journey with Deb, but it's a fun, dramatic turn, and yeah, I just wonder what is going to happen if she's not able to be the one out in the street really doing the work.
Yeah, because that's her passion. That's her purpose, right? She loves being a detective. But can I also kind of really quickly before we get out of here slightly redirect? Do you think Deb will be able to handle being the new lieutenant and finding out about Dexter Dark Passenger? How do you think that will go?
I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't expect that to happen.
I do expect that to happen. I would be so shocked if that didn't happen. And also, too, I would have been so curious.
I don't expect it to happen this season.
I expect it to happen at some point in the 8 seasons. I'll say that. I don't know when it's going to happen because so many times I thought. So I do agree with you there. But I will tell you this. It would have been perfect if it would have happened in season 5 because she was so on the I'm okay with vigilantes right now because of everything that had happened with the themes and what was going on with characters like Lumen. So she was on the side of vigilantes at that point, given what Jordan Chase and all those evil beings were doing.
Yeah.
So I'm very fascinated and curious to see how she's going to take that news and also being in a position of power. And this is her brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think if she were to find out in this position, it would be a disaster. I don't, oh boy. I don't know. I think
you ain't a lieutenant or you ain't a detective anymore.
I think some interesting things would certainly happen. I don't think it can't happen. I don't think it won't happen, but I feel like I've been wrong before. The Bay Harbor Butcher stuff, part of the big conversation around that is damn, this seems like something you would do in a late season or a final season, not the second season. So they can take us by surprise with that stuff. But Deb finding out, to me, unless they're going to kill her off or something, just feels like a kind of thing that you would have to do towards the end, unless there is some I don't know. I just don't know how I would. I don't know if she would be able to just accept that and let him keep doing his thing. On. I don't know if that would be a thing or not.
Right, because what happened when Dokes found out, even though that's not his sister or a family member or a loved one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's messed up, but it's also
okay. Now I don't want Deb to know. God,
I don't know. It just seems she's in a unique position to understand, but I feel like her compass might override her personal feelings on that one. And two, I mean, it falls into another pattern for her where it's she's had these romances, especially after Brian. You know, at Biney.
I get what you're.
Having serial killers under your nose has to be a pretty touchy thing for Deb.
No, I understand that, and you are right. Her judgment is interesting when it comes to that, having personal or having serial killers right under your nose. So I'm curious how she's going to react to that if she does find out the truth. But also too, we're talking about personal feelings being aside for the rule of law, but. What about when she finds out who Dexter has been taking out, even though it is the law not to do stuff like that? Does she give a pass for okay, you're not killing innocent human beings here?
If the conversation got to this point, and if it was such that a conversation could happen, I'm sure that would factor in. I'm sure she would at least be well, okay. People we couldn't get and people who were clearly committed to their wickedness. Yeah. People who clearly have no interest in being a, member of society.
Decent members of society.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I could imagine it.
I think it would make for interesting drama on TV is all I'm saying. But
it would absolutely be interesting.
We'll see what happens though.
Absolutely.
So,
all right.
Emma, thank you so much for the questions.
Thank you for chiming in.
Please continue. We can't do reviews without you.
Yeah.
There's a Dexter reviews especially as well, but reviews in general, we need you.
All right, gang. Thank you again for tuning in. Leave a like, comment on the video, share this if you can. We want to boost these as much as possible so we can continue on. We love this show and are hopefully going to continue loving it for a long time to come. But for right now, be well, and we'll catch you on the next one.